Welcome in to the DNVR Avalanche Trade Deadline and chill. I don't think we're gonna make this a podcast. This is probably just a hangout. So
yeah, I think that's fair.
We're just hanging out on YouTube. Not gonna call it a podcast or anything like that. So far, the actual day of the trade deadline day, almost nothing has happened. We're starting to get a couple bits of news trickling in here, a couple of waiver acquisitions, a couple of small trades, but looking like the majority of the moves made at this deadline were going to be done over the weekend. Over the last couple of days, obviously a couple of big names getting moved yesterday. We'll talk about all of that as we wait for more stuff to happen. So, yeah, it's been slow, steady nothingness for most of the day, but we're still here. We're still chilling. We still got plenty of things to talk about. One of the trades, the most recent one that just got announced, the Chicago Blackhawks get Adam Gaudette for Matthew Highmore in a random bottom six piece moves for reasons. Just because. I don't know why that really does much for anyone in that trade, but okay.
Well, obviously Chicago is preparing to replace Mattias Janmark.
Because they were going to move him.
Obviously.
So, I mean, the Avs couldn't, for all we know, the Avs put a claim in on Mete, but they would have never got him because I'm sure Ottawa ended up getting him, and the waiver list the Avs are very far down on. So,
yeah, they're literally at the bottom.
Yeah.
It was kind of crazy to see. I mean, Mete and both Sami Vatanen get claimed.
Yeah, Mete to Ottawa, Sami Vatanen gets claimed by the Stars. So
yeah, Dallas. What?
That was definitely a little weird to me, but whatever's going on in that South Division or whatever you want to call it, I guess, Central-ish. Yeah, those were the first two moves of the day. The other move today is the Oilers.
Well, waivers is based on standings. The waiver priority list is based on standings.
Yep.
That's all it is.
Oilers getting Dmitry Kulikov for a draft pick. I don't know if they officially have the draft pick yet, but there hasn't been much because those are the two dudes.
Yeah, well, everything popped off yesterday.
Yeah, exactly. So
I tell you, the Oilers trading for Kulikov, but I thought Colin brings him up. I thought Jamie Alexiak was a perfect fit for the Oilers.
Yeah, I mean, he's the name that hasn't moved yet. So one of the names out there that could actually move today still.
Yeah.
But we'll have to wait and see on what happens there.
Dallas is one of those teams to watch today because they're in a weird spot where they weren't expecting to be here.
Yeah.
And I think now the reality is settling in. They're looking at the standings and they're saying, all right, well,
yes, we're kind of in this.
This is, this is what it is, right?
Yep.
So I think that they are one of the clubs to watch. Chicago, obviously, the other one. The team that I'm surprised we're not hearing more about is Calgary.
Well, they did move David Rittich the other night for a third-round pick.
Yeah, so David Rittich goes to Toronto last night for a third, and people immediately were like, why didn't the Avs just do this?
Yeah.
And it's like, what was it? Devin Dubnik's like 898 save percentage versus David Rittich's like 904.
And the Avs gave up a fifth and got rid of Patterson salary in this way instead of giving up a third for Rittich.
Like, you could Yeah, okay. Cool.
I don't like what
David Pecknotor
Yeah, I know.
tweeted him. Okay.
what big
I'm not
game is left. Like,
Yeah, I'm not sure what you would consider big game hunting at this point, unless you wanted to get like big game hunting
Like,
and start talking about Patrick Laine.
right. Well, I mean, at that point, you're talking well beyond a deadline move. Yes, it's done at the deadline, but the impact goes well beyond this season if you're doing something like that. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if the Avs do anything.
Mantha would make a lot of sense. I've connected Mantha and the Avs for a long time.
Would he?
I think so, man. Again, replacing, quote unquote, Nichushkin on that third line.
Yeah, I guess if you're sticking him on the third line,
like Hurdle would be interesting. You drop him into Jost's spot.
What is left on Mantha's contract? I don't actually know.
I think he's got 2 or 3 years beyond this at like $5 million.
So that's like, you drop him in there, and then realistically, like,
Haefele better not be considered big game hunting.
If you're going and getting Mantha, you're hoping like that he takes Burakovsky's role probably after, because Burakovsky's contract is up at the end of next season. Yeah, it would be something weird if the Avs are going big game hunting.
I mean, it would have to be legitimately big because there's no obvious options out there. Like we're talking, like we've talked about Sam Reinhart. Like Laine is kind of out there, and people. I mean, Ricard Raquel would make sense.
Yeah, I mean,
Columbus is Ricard Raquel like big game hunting?
I wouldn't call that big game hunting. Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't know. It's a weird designation because, like, who's available?
Yeah, I mean,
clearly makes you better. Like, I woke up to 9,000 text messages today with the Avs connected to a bunch of different guys.
Like,
we're gonna get into that.
The closest thing to big game hunting, looking on the like trade bait boards out there that's left, is like Mike Hoffman.
Yeah, well, and Mike Hoffman is like the biggest misfit.
Yeah, doesn't make any sense for the Avs. Like, yeah, I mean, the Avs were in on Hall, but Hall went to Boston, as AJ accurately predicted last night. So no big surprises from the Hall thing that went down. It did mean I got to sleep tonight and didn't have to do an emergency pod, so I was kind of okay with it.
Oh man, I was so nervous. I was like, oh my god. And then Drager tweeted out something about Curtis Lazar, and I was like,
Avs ain't doing that.
Yeah, I was like, we're home.
Yeah, this trade bait list is pretty darn thin, man.
Yeah.
There is nothing going on here. The top of it is Janmark, Alexiak, Hoffman, Zadorov, and Haefele, and then Scott Laughton.
So a number of guys that have been connected to the Avs there.
Yep.
Matthias Janmark was a guy that there was a lot of speculation in free agency that Colorado was interested in him. There's a lot of speculation right now that they're continuing to be interested. Dylan Strome is another name to keep an eye on out of Chicago. Who was the other guy that you just listed? Scott Laughton out of Philly.
Yeah.
The other guy there that has been connected with the Avs today. So, would any of that qualify as big game hunting?
No, none of that is
like
big
5 years ago, Dylan Strome would have been a big deal.
Now,
but outside of any of that, it's just like, no. Not really.
I just don't. It wouldn't. No one on the trade bait board is going to be a blow your socks off type of deal. Yeah. It's going to be get marginally better min-maxy small bit pieces getting moved around type of thing. So if the Avs do something, I suspect it would be significantly more in that vein than big game hunting. But I'd be okay if we get to lose our minds live on a show again. If the Avs want to do something crazy, that'd be fine with me, but not expecting it. Yeah, things have been particularly slow today because of all of the movement that got done last night. We already mentioned Hall. The Penguins went out and got Jeff Carter, which neat, I guess. Even then, the biggest deal that has gotten done that around, call it over the weekend, is the Foligno deal, where Foligno to Toronto for a first and a fourth, and then another fourth that got moved to San Jose, was it? I forget. Yeah, for Nosen.
Yeah.
So the suspicions that this deadline might be extra slow has been pretty accurate so far, to say the least. But
yeah, I mean, some big names have moved. Some guys have gotten kicked around, but we kind of knew coming in because of how the playoffs were formatted. Very, very, very clear lines here between playoff teams and not playoff teams. And like, there's just, injuries have changed some of this, like injuries, but like, look at a guy like Bobby Ryan getting taken out of this market.
Would have definitely been on the move, you would have to think, but
yeah. So some of that, some of that's just kind of been bad luck, but I mean, Getzlaf to Vegas, they're gonna have to do a lot of gymnastics.
They'd have to move heaven and earth to fit the contract, even with retained salary.
Yeah, with retained salary, it's like, okay, great. That definitely addresses their center depth, though.
It would, if they could get it done. There's been some rumblings on Twitter about Vegas looking at Nolan Patrick as well, though. So, dude, if something's going to get done, you're in the hurry up and wait stage right now.
Well, and Nolan Patrick, you remember the Brandon Weeking connection there with Kelly McCrimmon.
Yep.
So you just keep that in mind.
Agreed. Anime. Well, that's the wrong comment. The whole world needs more AJ reaction images. That's just, everybody needs some of that.
I feel like we're good. I feel like the Taves one is the one. That's the one you guys get. It's a raw and honest moment.
Yeah, it can't keep happening that we happen to be live when the Avs do stuff. And the odds of it happening were so small as it was.
Yeah. I don't even remember what I was playing, but I remember I was playing video games when they did the Zadorov thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, gotta go.
Later, nerds. And yeah, still waiting to see what the pick was for Kulikov that Edmonton gave up. I don't think that's been official. But we'll see. We'll see if anyone wants to pull the trigger on something. I'm surprised that anyone could trade for a Canuck, talking about this Gaudette trade, because that whole team is in quarantine, basically.
Yeah, well, then are you gonna get, like, what would you get?
Yeah, I don't know.
Not
much.
I mean, player wise, what are you expecting to get from that guy? You know, like it would have to be bigger.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, it would have to go beyond just this year because, like,
you'd be looking at a longer term piece for sure.
Yeah, and you're not knowing how that guy's going to react to. I mean, we're talking about like what's happened to the Canucks is that they've had like a weird variant, right? Like the Brazil variant of COVID,
P1 or whatever. Yeah.
And we just don't know what the impacts of that are going to be, and blah 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 blah. So it's weird that like a team is targeting a Canuck right now. Like Chicago getting Gaudette is like, okay, let's give him the rest of this year, assuming that he plays any games for them, to just see what's up.
Yeah, it would be weird. Not something I would mess with right now. Certainly, if you're the Avs, anyway. But I don't think they will. So, no big deal there. Yeah. Other than that, I don't know. Were there any other interesting trades you wanted to mention from yesterday that we didn't really do?
Yeah, no. I guess the Lightning. I really want them to get rid of all their picks.
Yeah, right.
For like multiple reasons.
Because this draft is nonsense, and because it doesn't matter anymore.
It would just be hilarious. So the Braden Coburn for a 7th rounder is like, okay, is there another Braden Coburn that they could trade a 7th rounder for?
There's got to be a couple of D still out there. Your boy Troy Stetcher is still out there.
There you go. Or what's Eric Branson still up to?
Oh god.
Yes. See, Meeks is right on the same wavelength. That makes that tells me that's a bad idea.
Oh boy. It's is that your litmus test, basically?
Yeah. If people with bad opinions agree with me, then I have a bad opinion. But truth be told, I would love to see them just keep moving these out. It's either that or they move out the 3rd and the 7th today, and they just keep the 1st.
Just have the one pick that matters.
Yeah, they just keep the 1st. We get to be all excited about a 1st round pick. All right, add him to the system, and then
aces.
We move on.
Yeah, easiest draft ever.
Yeah, and then we could legitimately get like pissed drunk for day 2, and it wouldn't matter,
and just party.
No, see, a 7th. What you do is you trade the 7th for your Branson, and then the 3rd for Matthias Janmark. There, you're done.
Easy all the way around. Boy.
So these situations are so weird to me. Okay.
Which ones?
What's happening in both LA and Philadelphia right now with Haefele and Scott Laughton?
Yeah.
Where they're talking about extensions, but they're also talking about trades. Like, if a player wants to be there, like, already, if you want to be there, like, where each side is money wise. Why does this need to go down to the wire?
Yeah.
Like, if you want to be there and they're within the ballpark, tell them where they need to get to.
Just give them a solid number, and they either do it or they move.
And be like, okay, this is where you need to get to. And if you're not going to, then move me.
I don't know why anyone would trade for Matt Calvert, given his injury situation. Unless it's just the Avs like dumping his salary or something.
Yeah.
But
even then, that's a guy that you want to see get his name on the cup.
Yeah, for real. Like, I don't. Deadline spur action, AJ, I guess, is the point to be made here.
Yeah. Well, in Kreider last year, I mean, Kreider was the guy that was so heavily rumored to be Colorado's big fish last season.
Yep. And then he signs a deal at the last minute.
Yeah. And Mike Hoffman doesn't make any sense for Colorado.
Agreed. He doesn't fit at all.
So, yeah.
I mean, what? There's 2.5 hours left until the deadline officially. And normally, like, stuff comes in well after the deadline. So,
yeah. That's where it's so funny because, like, we'll spend the next 2 hours dicking around.
Doing absolutely nothing with no trades getting made.
And then the last hour will just be like, okay.
Neat.
Like teams just start making random freaking deals from left field, and you're just like, what is happening here?
Just do something.
All these AHL deals start getting made, and then you're just like, I am curious to see, genuinely curious, with there no like there will be AHL playoffs of some kind, but
I thought that, I mean, the AHL agreed to play like one round of playoffs.
Exactly. There's no like Calder. There's no like Calder Trophy.
Right.
Or I guess Calder Cup. There's no Calder Cup in play.
Division champs, and that's it, kind of.
Yeah. So it's like, how aggressive are teams in the AHL market this year? Because usually this is where teams with good AHL clubs start making moves to shore up. Like, hey, we want to give our AHL club an extra guy or whatever.
I mean,
there's no reason to do that this year.
Yeah, I mean,
for one round of the postseason, there's no fans in the stands. There's no reason for you to like aggressively look at a moving AHL. Like, if you're Buffalo and you've got nothing else to do today, sure, tinker away. Have at it, champ.
Name two. Not, I guess Clerman's there now, but name the rest of the Eagles' defense right now, because they could use an actual AHL defender down there probably.
Well, I mean, like they've got Connor Timmins, they've got Nate Clerman, they've got
Timmins,
they've got Dennis Gilbert, they've got Dan
half
Renouf.
Those guys end up on the taxi squad. So
it's gotten a little bit better in recent days, and it will get better when. McDonald
gets healthy.
Nemeth is in town, and then when Byram is back, then there you go.
Yeah, I guess it's not terrible once they're fully healthy, but
so it's like,
yeah, there's a knock-on effect a little bit for sure.
Yeah, I think the Eagles defense actually got better with Middleton and Burrows in Colorado or in Denver.
That's definitely possible.
So, I think the Eagles are like, please just keep those guys.
Stick them on the taxi squad indefinitely.
Please. I think they probably miss Burrows a little bit, but I don't know. I think Keaton Middleton sucks. So that's just where I am.
Apparently, Dmitry Kulikov is worth a conditional fourth.
So the Jeff Carter thing is really interesting.
Yeah, to Pittsburgh.
Because somebody tweeted out the cap recapture stuff this morning.
Yep.
And somehow Pittsburgh gets cap space if Carter retires.
Yeah, there's a bunch of
off the recapture
that happens with that. Yeah.
And so knowing that and knowing that they gave up basically like a conditional third and fourth round picks, it's nothing. Like Jeff Carter's not good anymore, but
neither is Pittsburgh's bottom six. So.
Like seeing all of this at play, how it all kind of came together, the cost of it, and then the half the salary is being retained. We'll see how it goes. It ended up being a way lower price and way lower risk move than I thought it would initially be. It's a really weird thing for guys to target. Like, It's a really weird thing for like Ron Hextall and Brian Burke to be like, we got to get Jeff Carter out of LA.
Actively seek out something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Like it's a really odd. And like, could you imagine being Rob Blake? You're approaching the deadline and somebody calls you about Jeff Carter and you're like, yes.
What do you want to give me for him? Okay, great. Yeah. 2 picks. Excellent. So
you're going to give me what? Great. Let's do this thing. I don't understand. Like the thought process of being like, Jeff Carter's the guy we have to go after. Like, have you watched him play? That guy is washed. But we've seen it. Like, the thing is, man, is that you've seen it just enough at the deadline where a guy that we thought whose career was dead and buried, and it was just playing out the string, he goes somewhere at the deadline.
He has a couple clutch goals.
He has a good 2 or 3 weeks, and you're just like, huh? How did they know? And then you see like a Derek Brassard, like he has 1 lost season. He gets moved multiple times. Nothing happens with that guy. No bounce back. And then in subsequent years, it's completely like doesn't come all the way back, but
is a serviceable player again.
Back to being like a decent NHL player again. And it's just like in the world?
How does this keep happening?
So I don't know. But Manson and Raquel. Look, if there was no expansion draft to consider, Manson and Raquel is exactly the kind of like balls out, dick first, big daddy move that you could make. Like that makes you think of Pierre Lacroix.
Yeah, straight up.
Would there be a better homage to Pierre Lacroix this year than a move like Manson and Raquel at the deadline? Like
winning a cup would be a pretty good homage, but
yeah, right. But I mean, like the deadline is where Lacroix made like his bones, right? That's where his reputation came from.
Yep.
And that would be like that kind of move. It's just that with the expansion draft, though, that like, okay, well, you're losing that. You're comfortable losing Josh Manson in expansion. If you make that move. You just have the expansion. It's kind of bullshit that Colorado's first true like go for it like cup year is the expansion draft season.
Yeah.
Where it's like, you just have to keep it in mind. Like, you don't want to give too much away for somebody that you're going to lose for free.
Yeah. Just reality, unfortunately, on that one. But look, I mean, there's some merit to going all in, though. At the same time,
yeah, sure. I mean, you have a really, really, really good team.
Yep,
and then you also have $4 million of free cap space that you're not going to have to play with in future years
because of the injury situation.
Exactly, like that opened up an avenue for them to maybe tinker more than they otherwise would have been able to. It gives them the room to go and be like, okay, well, what about, let's try this. Let's try that. So,
yeah, for sure.
I think that, oof.
Yeah, I hear you, chat. I hear you're saying expansion or not, a cup is a cup, and that is 100% true. But you only feel good about that if the Avs win the cup in the end, and it's really hard to do. So, I don't. It's really hard to say that. I'll put it this way: if you think you're that confident in winning the cup, why do you need to go out and get someone?
Yeah. And the conversation I was having last night was like, if you don't need to go out and get a fifth line just because you can.
Right.
You don't need to go out and get Matthias Janmark and Luke Glendening just in case.
Yeah.
Like, you just don't need to do that. And just like have them sitting around and be like, oh, when guys get hurt, then great, let's do this. Like, the world isn't ending this year.
Yep.
You still have next season. You still have the season after that. You still have all these other. Yeah. If you're not like this report that the Avs are big game hunting makes sense because big game hunting makes you better.
Significant.
You go out and you get a horse, man. It makes you better. Like, it's easy to see that.
Sharks are trading Frederick Claesson to Tampa.
I didn't even know Freddie Claesson was still in the league until like a month ago.
A whole bunch of super bit PC trades so far, basically.
It's pretty funny watching like The Athletic was already like grading the Adam Gaudette deal.
Grade. Like, nobody cares.
You're like, Freddie Claesson to Tampa Bay for goalie prospect Magnus Krona.
Name though.
Okay, I want the Avs to trade for Magnus Krona because shit, yeah, that's a dope name. That's such a dope name.
The all-name team. Should we acquire the all-name team from Trade Deadline?
You should always. I mean, always consider a dope name. Like, first of all, he has to be hot. He's got to fit into Operation Male Model.
I don't know. Dubnyk doesn't really fit into Operation Male Model.
That goalies are the exception to all rules.
Okay.
But if you're a handsome fellow and your name is Magnus Krona,
well, let's see.
Yeah. Pull up a picture of Magnus Krona and we'll see if this is a lost opportunity.
Oh, he's a DU kid.
Yeah. The only reason I knew that is because the DU site that I follow tweeted about it.
Yeah, he's not going to cut it.
No?
Here.
All right, chat. Let's see.
What do you think? Yes or no on the modeling chat? I think it's a hard no for me.
I mean, he's better looking than Dubnyk.
That's pretty low bar.
Dude, rude. Yeah. Also a reminder, I did say goalies were the obvious exception.
Like they wear a full mask on the ice, right? So you can't tell anyway. It's fine.
As long as he has a piercing stare, I think we're good. Yeah, click on the one in him with him in a suit. Let's see.
It's tiny. Can zoom it in though.
All right.
Not sold.
I don't think he's a bad looking guy.
He's got to do something. The haircuts he's rocking are bad for him. This one doesn't look that bad. Oh, that's a different guy. That's why.
It's very Justin Timberlake in 2000. all he needs to do is bleach it.
Oh my god.
And he's there.
You sure? You sure that's what's gonna sell?
A supporting character in a CW show. Yeah. That's fun. Oh, we're having the positional debate about Matthew Highmore. Love it.
Yeah. So nothing is happening.
Yeah, well, we knew this was going to happen. We
Yeah.
knew that the opening hours, especially after
We're
last night, kind
gonna
of got
be exactly
chaotic.
like this. Yeah, for sure. No surprise.
Yeah, what did Peter McNabb say? 'Cause we were at the bar yesterday and could
we had
not hear
sound
any of the
muted
commentary.
because there were Rockies shows and Nugget shows and golf shows.
Yeah, we were very busy yesterday at the bar, so I don't know what Peter McNabb said about the Ducks, but I had multiple people tweet me about it, and I just don't know what's going on. Look, we could legitimately go live and critique the haircut of goalie prospects or other prospects in the middle of the season.
Yep. Okay. Neat. Nobody knows what he said.
Great. So this is a controversy that has no flashpoint here. So he apologized for something?
I don't know. I don't. Yeah. I mean, I heard him say like,
what? Anaheim is a trailer park version of LA? That's so funny. Oh shit, that's hilarious. I have no idea how true that is because
I imagine it's kind of the opposite. Like
I've
Anaheim is the rich part, isn't it?
I've covered games in both arenas, and I will tell you, Honda Center is a piece of shit. They just haven't like the game that I covered there was actually the Honda Center because the light on the H had gone out. And I asked somebody, Eric Stevens, who I think covers the Ducks for The Athletic. And he was like, oh no, it's been like that. Because I was like, am I just here on the day where it's just out? And it was no, but it was the Honda Center. So that was fun. But yeah, it
is definitely an intro to a Manscaped read.
It does. It sucks. But I will say Anaheim's practice facility is the best in the league.
It used to be called the Pond because the Ducks played there. So they called it the Pond.
It was called the Pond for a long time, which was a dope name, honestly. Yeah. When they were leaning really hard into the Ducks thing, into like the mighty and like leaned everything they had into it, that's awesome.
Yeah, I agree. Lollipop Park is gone.
Oh yeah, I mean, come on. There's a reason that the Avs players go in the back of that facility.
They don't have to anymore because they sold off all of the Lollipop Park shit.
Yeah. Shark Tank is also an amazing nickname for your arena.
Yeah, dope. Yes, Disney. They were the Mighty Ducks. They were legitimately the Mighty Ducks for the first portion of their existence.
So I don't think Nolan Patrick counts as big game hunting, and I also don't think it makes sense for the Avs to make that move because they would have to try and figure out.
If you're going and getting Nolan Patrick, why wouldn't you just play Martin Kaut? Like,
I mean, not even just that, but I mean, like, what do you do with him? Where does he fit into your lineup? You can't. Does he take Tyson Jost's spot just as Jost is actually taking off? Like, that would suck. That would be a bad message to send to Jost, and he's not going to displace Jonas Donskoy. So, like, what do you do? Nolan Patrick is that's a move that Vegas makes that makes a lot of sense because they have to roll the dice on somebody cheaper that can play center because their centers is their big hole right now. So, that would not, and I don't know. For me, that's not big game. Although they did have him number 1 in 2017.
I don't think they have him number 1 on any list right now.
Yeah, he's not even number 1 on guys that they would want out of Philly right now.
Yep. It's not pretty in Philly right now for anyone. That team imploded very quickly. So, who knows? Maybe the Avs can rescue somebody out of Philly. But I'm not expecting much, to be honest.
Not for a while. I had a dream, actually. I was dreaming when Z woke me up this morning that the Avs had traded for Connor Garland. And Rudo and I were doing the pod, and I was trying to figure out what the hell he would do on this roster.
I mean, third. I imagine the same thing everyone else would do, and just be offense on the third line, right?
I mean, he again takes the Chushian spot.
Yeah.
Hey, roll it.
Yeah, I don't know. That'd be how many penalty drawers can the Avs have on one team if they go get Connor Garland?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because they have a Kadri that can go down pretty soft at times already. Jost and McKinnon are great at drawing penalties for real. Just at a certain point, do you have too many, and then the refs stop giving you penalties altogether?
Yeah, I mean, they're already having a hard time calling the game as is.
Yeah.
Garland is tough just because that guy gets leaned on and
yeah, falls right over.
He immediately makes it look like a production. Oh, how convenient is this?
Uh-oh.
The Ryan Reeves injury appears that it could be long enough to put him on LTIR.
Awfully convenient for Vegas.
On trade deadline day? Are you fucking kidding me? Man, they need to decide. The league needs to decide. Are they serious? Are they serious about a salary cap, or is it
cap circumvention? Yeah.
Is it just the jumping off point for theatrics?
Finding ways to cheat it, basically.
So the Avs can trade for Nick Delorier, but what they need to do is turn his going into the locker room into a reality TV show where he has to physically fight his way to his locker. And if he doesn't get there, then the trade gets voided.
So
what you do, so here's how you do it, is that you put your doctor that does the physical that has to pass it at his locker, and then he has to fight his way there so that when he gets his ass kicked by like the 4th or 5th Ave, if he even makes it through that many, by the time he actually gets to his locker, he's so beat up that they can't medically clear him and they have to void the deal. Yeah, it would be exactly like a Japanese game show. It would be absurd.
He joins the team. He finds out his roommate for road trips is Nazem Kadri. He gets to the room, opens the door, and Liam O'Brien is standing there, just like waiting for him.
Matthias Janmark to Vegas. How convenient that they used that Ryan Reeves cap space
immediately
20 seconds later.
Hey, Reeves, buddy, we're going to need you to miss about 2 weeks, okay? Thanks.
That is so convenient. So Matthias Janmark is okay. Like, he's all right.
He's fine.
He's not great either offensively or defensively. He's not awful either. It's not like he's a bad player.
Yeah, Reeves should be suspended, actually. That hit the other night was definitely suspendable.
To be honest, I would not hate a Scott Laughton deal.
All right. Well, that's looking more and more possible.
Where was it? Colin asked what's one person out there that you actually want the Avs trade for if they were to do a deal. I'm like Lawton would be okay with me.
Sure. Whatever.
No, I looked at Matthias Janmark's metrics last night and this morning. They're not that bad. They're not like it's not like an example of like here's like a great.
Does it really make the Avs that much better? No.
Oh yeah, and I'm not even sure where that dude. Shit, dude, I don't even know where that guy's gonna fit somewhere in Vegas, let alone
Colorado.
Yeah, I don't know. Hopefully, it's like a second or third round pick that they just gave up for him.
Yeah, it'll be a bit until they finalize it. If we figure out what pick they actually gave up, but I don't know. It's definitely weird how the flat salary cap is just irrelevant when teams want it to be irrelevant. But here we are. Welcome to trade deadline day.
It's true.
Excuse me.
Rudo, who would you draft with the first round pick today?
Like where?
I don't know, man. Just assume that the thing is fucking 28, 29.
Dude, off the top of my head, I don't know.
Me neither. All the guys that I like, I'm like, these guys are not going to last until the end of the first.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, dude, at 28, Jesus, I don't know.
Sillinger.
28.
Yeah, he's a top 15 guy. Who I'm taking number one this year more than any other depends on who's picking number one.
Yep. It's going to be a really weird draft year all the way around.
Yeah.
Regardless of however the Avs are involved in it.
I don't know, man. I get such major Eric Johnson vibes out of Owen Power.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Best goalie in the draft is Jesper Wallstedt, the Swedish kid.
Yep.
I'm sorry. The Swedish monster. He's such a badass.
Okay.
Seriously, dude, he's awesome.
I don't disagree with you, but
he has done stuff in the SHL that no other teenager has done as a goaltender. He kicks ass. Yeah, I can imagine Kaprizov in Colorado. I fully expect that it'll probably happen the next time that the Avs get to host the All-Star game.
Hey-o.
And then he'll get to play on a line with McKinnon and Rantanen, and we'll all be like, wouldn't this be better for the world if he got to be part of that? But no. It's not
at 28, you know who I quietly still really like that could fall is Ratty. I wouldn't mind him with a late first.
Oh, man. Talk about a guy that's fallen.
Yep.
My.
Definitely not a good year for him, but that's okay.
Is who a first-round talent, Dario?
Wallstedt, I assume he's asking, which, yes, he definitely is.
Oh, yeah. No, he's... In this draft, I would have Wallstedt in the top 10. Wallstedt or Askarov, I would go with Askarov, but I'm an Askarov fanboy, so.
It's true. He is. All right.
Yeah, Wallstead should be a top 10 pick this year. Nikita Zadorov.
Canucks may not be done tinkering, huh? Okay.
All right, let's pull up
day.
their roster, man. Let's take a look. Let's go carcass picking here on Vancouver.
Let's see. I'll just pull up their cap.
Here we go, baby. Antoine Rousseau.
Please no.
Yeah.
There's nothing interesting. Jimmy VC for a year. For the rest of the year. Oh, that'd be funny.
So, fun fact. Maybe not fun, but a thing that I am upset about this regular season is that Tyson Jost's streak of increasing his shot on goal total by 1 will probably end. Because one of my favorite things is that over the last 3 years, his shots on goal have gone from 113 to 114 to 115. And so I'm hoping he goes like bananas and gets to 116 in the next couple weeks.
Not gonna happen.
How would you feel about Nate Schmidt?
I mean, what's the price, right?
Let's say that it's Graves and Comfer. I'm just trying to make the money work more than anything.
Yeah, I hear you.
Let's say like Graves, Comfer, and their third rounder.
What's your plan to replace Comfer? Are you going out and making another deal, or are you just like dropping in New Hook?
No. I'm putting Martin Count in my lineup.
Okay, sure.
Or I'm putting Kiefer Sherwood in my lineup.
An internal answer. Sure.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'd be okay with it. I mean, it's a little expensive, but I wouldn't hate it. It kind of.
Do you just lose him to Seattle?
Yeah. How much? I mean, he's 30 and there's 4 years left on a $6 million deal. So,
yeah. Would Seattle take him?
Yeah, I think that's a real question.
I feel like some of the Nate Schmidt shine has come off this year.
Yeah, I agree. It just feels kind of weird that the Avs would actively seek out defense after getting Nemeth.
Well, I mean,
I know it's an upgrade.
Well, and I'm moving Graves out.
I understand.
So it's like, imagine. So you're switching.
Yeah, you're
going
with Nate Schmidt, and you got better. Like, I get it.
So at that point, then you're saying your top 4 is Taves, Girard, Nemeth, Makar, Byram, and Schmidt.
Yep.
Oof.
I mean, that's an insane defense.
I mean, when you put it on paper, it's like, well, there's the appeal. But the money, and you also keep in mind in this hypothetical, I've moved out $7 million. I guess $6.5 million.
Yeah, they make the money work pretty easily if you're moving Comfer and Graves.
Deadline is at 1 p.m. I'm sorry, 3 p.m. Eastern.
Yep. Noon Pacific.
Yep.
But the deadline just means that's when the trade announcements start rolling in a lot of the time. So,
yeah, I don't know, man. That would be fun, and because you moved out some of the money, you could afford it. But
yeah, it would also be a little weird.
Well, and then you lose that guy to Seattle, and you're like, all right.
Did they win the cup or not? Yeah.
Even if you do, you lose that guy.
Oh, no. Well, I'm saying you feel way better about losing him if you won the cup. But,
let's be real. If you win the cup, you're not feeling anything about anything because you're going to be
but you
smashed.
won the cup. Yeah, exactly. Only thing I'm feeling is whatever Ovechkin felt that entire summer.
Yeah, you're trading a first round pick for a painting of you having that of lifting the cup and celebrating, and you're trading your first round pick for a documentary on 72 hours in heaven with the Stanley Cup.
Pretty much. Oh man. Yeah, I don't know. It sounds like even with Reeves, Vegas might have to do some magic to make the cap work on Janmark.
What about Travis Hamonic?
For the Avs, no thanks.
Not even as like a fourth pairing right D.
Why are the Avs going to get a fourth pairing D?
Yeah, I guess. Because that's what you use your seventh for.
Just because you don't want them to keep the seventh.
I'm trying really hard to get rid of that seventh today, man. I'm trying really hard to get rid of that damn thing.
Yeah, don't. Unless they're doing something crazy, like.
I love Evan.
All right, so like, what if Vancouver wanted to reset and wanted to move JT Miller?
Ooh, that's first round pick territory.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, Mish, the Avs would need the first overall pick in like 2 years if they wanted Connor Bedard. It's not gonna happen.
Yeah, that's not. Don't even. There is no chance of that being a thing.
I think Winnipeg is going to. Ooh. That was the price for Janmark? Fuck that.
What was it? A second. And they flipped a third for a fifth, too? That's way too expensive.
Yeah, fuck that.
Oh, thanks. Man, that's like more than Buffalo got for Taylor Hall.
Yeah. Oh, God. Michkov is so crazy. That kid is.
AJ's already on the hype train.
Well, like, he's like 15 and he's like destroyed the MHL.
Yep. Ooh. So Janmark is now the arch enemy of the Avs this year.
Okay, hold on. Let me update this. I'm gonna send out this tweet.
AJ's got to tweet some stuff. He's going to work right now. I need to update my my trade sheet as well with this deal for Janmark.
Who was?
Take it. Janmark for
right.
second and a
Let me see.
third.
Yeah, I got text messages too. Jesus.
AJ's getting all the dirty details right now.
Yeah, will you drop me out of here for a minute?
Yep. AJ's gonna come back with the hot deets, y'all. He's gonna bring the info in just a minute. and the info might actually be nothing. But, we'll see. We'll see. Hi, everybody. It's just me now. You got any interesting questions? Line A for a first Timmins, Comfort, and Bowers? No thanks. The Avs don't need another shooter in their top six is the thing with Line A. I don't look cute any day, but thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, the wife has 2 screens. I have 4 screens, and that laptop back there is mine. So I guess 5, technically. The green screen is for my videos. When I'm not on the podcast, my regular YouTube videos, I use that green screen to record them. So, yeah, I haven't really figured out a good podcasting setup yet here. We'll figure that out eventually. Grubauer isn't signed because why would Grue be signed when he's having a fantastic year and he knows he's going to make mad money one way or another next year, whether it's with the Avs or not. So you could get a beer with any line or D pair. Which would you choose? Dude, I don't know. I'm bad at social stuff. I wouldn't matter. I'd like drink the beer in 30 seconds and then leave. It'd be that simple. My wife plays WoW, usually in the background. If you see her playing games, that's what she's doing. Pretty normal stuff there. I mean, Joe Pavelski could work, but like the Avs need an offensive driver on the third line. And as chat has talked about a lot today, Joe Pavelski makes his bread and butter standing in front of the net, tipping pucks, right? That's not driving play. That requires other plays to get shots towards the net and Pavelski do the finishing. So in that sense, it doesn't line up super well for the Avs. What else? What do the Avs sign Landy for? I don't know. Something around $7 million would be my guess, one way or the other. Would you rather have Ryan Reeves or Devin Dubnyk on the team? Devin Dubnyk. Have I ever seen Hunter x Hunter? No. I'm a super weird person when it comes to anime. I watch like super random shows that generally aren't that popular. I don't know why. It's just how it happens. What forward should the Avs get now? Martin Kaut. They should solve all their problems internally if they're picking up a minor forward and not like a big piece, in my opinion. What is Francouz's injury? Nobody knows except for Pavel Francouz and the Avs, and they haven't told anyone what it officially is. So, yep, that's a thing. What do you think of Getzlav to Colorado for a 7th? I mean, they could do it, but whatever. I don't think it makes that much of a difference. Let me actually look up Getzlav's numbers really quick this year because I know they're not that good. So Getzlav has 15 points in 37 games with 3 goals. And the thing is, that's a little bit deceiving, right? Because he gets to play big minutes in Anaheim in the top 6, which he would not do in Colorado. He'd be a 3C. And that production would go down pretty significantly, I think. I don't think that Getzlav adds a whole lot to the Avs right now. Because, like, yes, I know Getzlav has a reputation for being gritty and all of that, but it's a lot less grit these days and a lot more pestiness. Like, you don't see him lay big hits on the ice. You don't really see him actually properly fight with people. He did fight one game against the Avs, but it wasn't much of a fight, right? Like, people aren't afraid of Ryan Getzlav anymore. He's just kind of annoying. If it were for your team, I mean that in a good way, but he doesn't really add the physicality that I think a lot of people think he does. If you had to choose Haefele and Lawton, I'd take Haefele if we're ignoring cost, because that'd be too hard to read. We've answered the hot dog question like 300 times, and we're not answering it anymore. Who wins in a foot race, Ryan Reeves or Jared Bednar? I have no idea. I don't know how fast either of those dudes are. I don't know. I probably missed some questions because my chat just jumped. So sorry if I missed your question, but I'm just wherever my chat is now. We'll deal with that. Oh, look, AJ's back to save me. Fat Deets. Nothing interesting.
No
Somewhere
comment.
in between.
No comment.
No comment. You love to see it. Chipotle is way better than Qdoba. Fight me.
They're both gross.
Well, that's just wrong. It's usually me with the bad food takes, but AJ for once coming in with a bad one.
Yeah. I don't like either one of them. Illegal Pete's. I'm good with that.
Illegal Pizza's good for sure.
Yeah. I went to the original Freebirds. It was cool. It was cool to be at the OG, but it's not really my jam.
Who was the other team in the Yanmark trade? Was it
San Jose?
It was San Jose, right? Yeah, okay. Cool. I don't think there's going to be much butt holding going on for at least another hour.
Who's this old guy that's getting talked about in chat?
Some old guy?
Yeah, I don't know. Oh, we're both Horde players.
Yeah, I've been Horde since vanilla.
I've been Horde since BFA dropped.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Sing
This
me
is
the
how you
song.
know I'm not worried about us podcasting at all. This is a YouTube live stream of obnoxiousness.
Yep, can confirm.
No, Winnipeg is definitely not selling. They are trying to add defensemen. And maybe a depth forward because Chevy always does.
Yep. Favorite Covenant? Night Bay.
Have you played all the campaigns yet?
I haven't played the Bastion one yet, but I've done.
Oh yeah. My favorite so far is the Necrolord campaign. Ooh, what class am I playing as Shepard when Mass Effect comes out? You know, I don't know yet. It's funny you ask because I've actually had like this debate. What am I gonna do? Because my first playthrough, I was a pure adept. So I might just do that again.
What qualifies as a condiment? Because underrated is fresh onions. Such a good condiment.
What kind? Like diced or?
Yeah. Fresh diced onions on a hot dog or on a burger. The tastiest.
Super underrated burger topping is peanut butter.
That is just disgusting.
Have you ever had it?
I can't say that I have, but I
there
don't
you
like,
go. So shut the fuck up.
But I don't like peanut
shut
butter.
Shut the fuck up. Okay,
period.
well, that's messed up.
Caramelized onions are good too. Any kind of onion is good, but just fresh, raw, diced.
Fried egg is also amazing on a burger.
That is true. Fried egg on burgers is great.
Man, somebody is. My phone lights up, and I'm like, "Fuck yeah, what's going on?" And it's this shit.
Your car may be out of warranty.
So I have I drive a Toyota Corolla, and they had like a factory recall several years ago on airbags. And I get mail like 3 times a month telling me that I need to go into the nearest Toyota dealership to do this. And like, I did this like 5 years ago. I replaced the airbags.
It's been done.
And I'm just like, what the I can't get these people to just leave me alone about replacing the airbags in my car. Like, I did it, guys.
I've completed this.
Yeah, I have completed this task. Please stop.
Byram is out in quarantine. Nemeth is with the team today. I don't know if he'll play.
Yeah, well, so the Avs didn't have morning skate or availability today.
Yep. So the lineup will be when the Avs announce it.
Don't bring up StarCraft with Rudo around. He's going to say something that's going to hurt my feelings.
I won't say it again. Also, like, I feel like there's no need for a StarCraft movie.
I would just take any. I just rammed my face into my mic. I would take any sign that
the series has life.
That Blizzard acknowledges StarCraft has a future at all.
It doesn't. Sometimes you have to let it go.
Yo, I don't actually know what is going on with New Hook's immigration stuff. I'm super not surprised that they're having immigration issues with Canada, because Canada has basically told the United States to suck it.
Yep.
You wouldn't believe the hoops I have to jump through just to try and go visit my lady. Fucking ridiculous. Dude, I'm totally gonna see the Mortal Kombat movie. I'm amped. I'm actually legit excited.
It's gonna be a bad movie, but it's gonna be a good movie.
I'm so excited for it, man. After Kong versus Godzilla, I'm just ready. Just do it. Hold on. Let me get this YouTube link.
Yeah.
Send this to Sean.
You got it? Okay. I'll let you respond to him then. What did I don't see the Avs recovering picks at all.
What? Kong versus Godzilla was badass. If you thought it was awful, you're probably just sitting there hoping for some super interesting plot device or some bullshit. Let the fucking monsters fight. That's what they did, and it was badass.
Yeah, I mean, never been a huge fan of Godzilla, but it's not like you make any mistake. Like, you know exactly what you're getting when you go into that movie, right?
Apparently not.
Speaking of, if you want to hear more about Kong versus Godzilla, AJ and Drew did a whole podcast on it on this YouTube channel. So
that's right, we did. Oh, I did love that. I did love the Power Rangers movie.
The like new one.
Yep. I really, really, really loved it.
I
didn't expect to like it at all. I thought it was gonna be trash, and I ended up getting so sucked into it that I was like,
yeah. Is just an angsty teen at heart.
Oh, it's super true. Yeah. It's super true.
I mean, it came out in what, 2019, 2018?
I don't remember. Life before COVID is so far ago.
Right. That was
it all feels
at least a decade ago.
It all feels so different nowadays.
I never got into Destiny.
I really liked a lot of the gunplay. Especially in Destiny. Especially Destiny 2, I really liked a lot of the everything.
Yeah.
I just didn't like playing by myself. It sucked.
Best hockey movie of all time.
Ugh. Who cares? There's not enough of them.
Objectively, it's probably Miracle, but Goon is my favorite.
Yeah.
Seattle can make trades. They have their draft picks to work with. And also make trades in principle with hockey teams. In agreement to not take dudes, but they won't announce those till the expansion draft anyway. So
I don't like the Borderlands series.
I don't mind it. It's not great. It's never been my cup of tea, but it can be fun. All right. Anything interesting happening?
Not yet. Scott Lawton is probably going to sign
in Philly, yeah, which is fine. I don't care either way, really.
Oh, let's see. Favorite 90s Disney Channel original movie? Brink.
Brink is good.
Smart House is dope. Johnny
Smart House
Tsunami is a classic.
Johnny Tsunami is probably the best actual movie of that bunch.
It's certainly the one that I think I cringed the least rewatching it.
Yeah. Man, I'm sure I'd think of other ones. Like if I heard their name, I would know them, but does that Halloween movie count?
Wish Upon a Star is also amazing.
I've never seen that.
Young Katherine Heigl in a body switching movie.
Oh, yeah, that's like AJ's crack.
Yeah, I love body switching movies. Motocross was good.
I don't know. Oh yeah, Xenon. The first Xenon movie was good. The second one was not as good.
Yeah, I really don't know what they're gonna do with all of the goaltenders that they have. The Avs have all created a huge logjam.
Yeah, I mean the question
is Freaky Friday? Fuck yeah. Of course. Movie's great.
Make my heart go boom boom, Meeks.
What was the Zac Efron movie? 18 again. 17 again?
17 again, yeah.
Yeah, that was it.
Oh yeah, there was that movie that we were talking about the other day, The Luck of the Irish.
Oh yes. Yes. That was so fucking funny, man. Boy, this has really hit a lull.
Yeah, nothing is going on right now. The big news is that Lawton is not getting traded.
Oh, come on. Mean Girls? Mean Girls is like a generational movie.
Yeah, Mean Girls is...
Everybody in my generation liked Mean Girls because we all lived it. And it spoke to our generation at just the right time. Oh,
There's got to be some other. What was the Halloween one that they play every year? Hocus Pocus. Is that it?
everybody loves that movie, and I just don't get it.
It's good. It's not like earth shattering or anything, but
Oh, Empire Records. That's JT's my guy.
someone mentioned Miracle in Lane 2. I didn't like that movie.
Which one?
About the paraplegic boxcar racer kid.
I did not see that. Yeah, I did not see that. I have nothing to say.
Dude, Street Sharks were dope. I'm about it, kid.
Oh, yo, I watched an episode of Street Sharks on YouTube a week ago. They've got the whole series on there. I was watching it full episodes because I was talking to somebody about it and I was like, screw this, I want to watch it. I fired that shit up and watched a couple episodes. It was great.
All right, so
many lives got ruined at the start of that show. It was dark. You think of Street Sharks as it's just another 90s comic series or cartoon series. And then you watch the first couple of episodes and you're like, this shit is dark, dude.
Alley Cat Strike. Was that the bowling movie? Am I thinking of the right one?
Yo, Can't Hardly Wait is also the shit. Amanda Beckett for life. I had the biggest teen crush on Jennifer Love Hewitt during that era. Can't Hardly Wait. I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Who was my
Melissa
Joan Hart? I had a huge crush on.
You had a crush on Lazy Eye?
Yeah, she was hot.
What?
I mean, there were other ones. I think the first.
Did you just break my brain?
Apparently.
I also had I had the biggest thing on Sarah Michelle Gellar too.
Really?
Yeah. So oddly enough, my dad was a huge Buffy fan.
I never got into Buffy. I couldn't do it.
Yeah. She's a huge Buffy fan. And so I would watch it and Danielle Panabaker was she was Killer Frost on The Flash, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I didn't.
Her and so I just and Katie Cassidy on Arrow.
Yep.
She always looks like she's about to cry. And I never know how to I'm just we about to cry here?
I mean,
Sky High was Sky High should have been a TV show because
Sky High was weird.
It was such a dope concept. It should have been a TV show. Could you imagine Sky High today as a Netflix series? 10 to 12 episodes per season. Boom. I think something bad happened to Alicia Cuthbert. I think it was one of those a thing happened and
no.
But I can't remember. Girl Next Door was one of my jams in high school for a long time.
She was nominated for a Razzie in 2007.
Alicia Cuthbert?
Yep. For some movie called Captivity. I don't know. It doesn't say anything terrible happened to her.
Hey.
Other than being married to Dion Phaneuf, I guess that's a pretty terrible fate. But
yeah. My Hero Academia. Okay.
Yeah, that's weeb shit, AJ. Not for
Yep.
you.
Yep. Not for me.
I haven't. My wife just started watching My Hero Academia, but like I didn't get into it when it was popular, and now there's 4 seasons, and I'm like, I'm not doing it. I'm not making that journey. AJ can't be a weeb.
Yeah, no.
Doesn't have it in him.
Yeah. I've been too supportive of the anti-weeb stuff over the years. Can't go back on that.
Admitted.
I'm staying out of this Lauren versus Lauren conversation.
Yep. Not touching that one.
Yeah, you guys get so obsessed about it. Yo, Happy Endings was awesome. I love that show.
I don't know that show.
It was not popular.
All right.
Yeah, it was not popular.
I watched a lot more Cartoon Network as a kid than I did Disney, to be honest, though. So
no, I wasn't thinking about Brittany Murphy. She had a nice career, though. She was in a lot of stuff I liked. Her passing bummed me out. Yeah, Grubauer's in net tonight.
Yep, that's been confirmed.
Grubauer's in net tonight. I love when people like log on, the people that don't use Twitter as often as those of us who are on it all the time. And they log on and they spend 20 minutes replying, like going through my mentions and replying to things that they want to fight with people about. And it's just like, okay, everybody's moved on, bro.
Aquatine Hunger Force was great. Space Ghost, the original, like Space Ghost when I was young, was great.
I love that Aquatine Hunger Force was this whole premise. They were going to be like these like crime fighters, and it lasted like 2 whole episodes.
That shit went off the rails.
It devolved into absolute fucking nonsense. Yo, Legends of the Hidden Temple lives on in DIA.
Obviously, Serenity and Firefly were great. Whoever mentioned that. All right, here's my bad take. Courage the Cowardly Dog wasn't that good.
I didn't like it. Man. I just didn't like it. What other teams in sports would you guys like to see a Last Stand style documentary of? I mean, the 2001 Avs would have been a perfect.
Would have been great with Bork. Yeah.
Yeah, with Bork, it would have been like the thing.
You do know that the Hidden Temple was 1,000% rigged, right?
Yo, that going back and watching that was such nonsense. Because like these kids would actually like get through shit, and then like these like creepy dudes,
they just pop out
of nowhere and like grab them and be like, "Gotcha, bitch!" and then take them away, and you're like, "Did they just murder that kid? Like, what's happening here?"
What? Why are we talking about gymnasts all of a sudden?
Yeah, what happened?
And also, like, if we're talking about Olympic athletes, Tara Lipinski, that was like maybe my first ever crush on anyone.
What? No, Lucifer is great.
Yeah, Lucifer's dope. All that is overrated.
Okay.
The Amanda Show was overrated.
I didn't love that one. I did like Amanda Bynes before Crazy Town.
Yeah, before she was fine. Like, I didn't love her show, but she was cool. And then she, went nuts. But
cool for Alex Iafallo. Happy for him, I guess.
I guess.
Caleb, just drink Coke, man. Just come down to the bar and drink a Coke. You don't have to drink at the bar. I don't.
Yeah, you can have.
I regularly. How often do I drink when I'm at the bar? Maybe 1 out of every 3 or 4 times.
He usually just hangs out with his water bottle.
Yeah. See? You don't have to drink at the bar. Just go down, get some dope eats, and the Rockies signed Ivan Nova. Well, problem solved.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Lucifer is the shit, by the way. I don't understand why anybody would hate on Lucifer. It's so cool. And it's very Colorado.
There's a lot of good food at the bar. The wings are great. The grilled cheese is great.
Yeah, that the hash that they make is really great. I like the quesadilla. It's good. It's nothing special.
I haven't had the quesadilla yet.
But I'm also waiting. When we fully open back up, we'll actually get to go back to our full menu.
Yeah, and that'll be sick.
Yeah, because we've been using this
abridged
menu.
Yeah.
Basically the entire time we've been open. We got to use the full menu that one night.
Yep.
I get my second shot next Monday. So next Tuesday I will probably not be covering the game because I will be doing whatever happens on day 2.
Everybody says all the food's good. Yeah.
Sami Vatanen is bad, so I don't know that the Avs would have gone there, but they might have taken a look at Victor Mete.
I mean, for free, why not?
Yeah.
Ooh. We'll see. So far, a whole lot of nothing.
Yeah.
With Haefele and Lawton both staying put, there's not much.
I wonder what the numbers are on that.
Yeah, just the 4 years is all we know. I don't know. I don't have favorite trades.
Yeah, I don't know that I have a favorite deadline moment either. I was too young to really appreciate some of the big Lacroix stuff.
Same.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man. Let's talk politics.
Oh God,
that always goes great, right?
Do you want to get our channel YouTube striked?
But free speech, bro.
Oh man,
I don't think Ovechkin will beat Gretzky's record anymore. What? Haefele got 4 years, $4 million
for 4x4.
Really? It got exactly one David Jones?
Yeah, the David Jones. So he's going to suck now. That's the rule, is you have to be bad once you get that contract.
Oh, my God, dude. Boy, I tell you, more and more, Brandon Saad might be able to be had for less than $5 million. What was the grinding away that they had to do on a 4x4?
Right? Why didn't they just sign those papers?
There's no way Haefele was asking for fucking $5 million. So what's the deal?
What are his actual numbers? Let me look really quick. Yeah, dude had 43 points last year, has 25 and 39. You just ink a 4x4 instantly with that dude. What? Are the Avs where they are today without trading Duchesne? No.
No, of course not. They're somewhere else. I don't know where that is, but they're somewhere else.
Is there a universe where the Avs don't trade Duchesne? I mean, yes, there definitely is, but dude, I wish we could just see the future.
I mean, I just wish something was going on. We knew it was going to be slow, but this is fucking
painfully slow. Yeah.
I mean, this is literally nothing is happening now.
Yep. The biggest trade of today has been Janmark.
Talk about Calgary. What? How would you fix them?
They should blow it up.
Ow!
That's a live reaction of what Calgary does every day when they wake up.
Oh, that hurt. Brad Treliving is watching this and he's going, I feel that every day in my soul.
Exactly. Yep.
Best story that I ever covered. I don't know about best, but my favorite story was Sam Henley's one NHL game where he scored one goal on his one shot
in like 4 minutes.
And I went and talked to him after the game and was like, in the 16-17 season where nothing was good. And he was just so excited. And he was like, oh, I wasn't even good tonight. And the team clearly agreed because they sent him down right away after the game. But like one NHL game played and he scores a goal in it.
Yep.
And they beat Columbus that day.
Easy enough.
The Russian Radulov thing, God. Was that ever a fun learning experience that you can't trust anybody from that country when they tell you anything? What a mess. I don't want to write a book about the Varley trial. I just want to move on.
Yep.
I want people to understand that he was accused of a thing by a person. They went through, I sat through days of evidence, presenting of evidence. I sat through, her testimony was impossible to sit through. She bawled her entire way through it.
Yeah.
And it's like, look, it didn't, what Varley was alleged to have done didn't happen.
Yep.
But there's no way she was faking that kind of pain that she exhibited in her testimony. Like, she was clearly in pain. Going, like, reliving it and going through it and just like bawling. And it was really, really, really hard to sit through. And we took a long break afterward. I will also tell you, her lawyer was a dumbass. There were multiple times where the judge was like, bro, are you for real with this shit? Because he would get objected to with the line of questioning and he would just be like, I'll rephrase. And then he'll ask the same fucking question and get objected to. And the judge would be like, knock it off. And he'd be like, sorry, Your Honor. And I was like, bro, is this your fucking first time? Like, what is happening here? And it was so weird. And Varley's agent was so cold to us the first like day or two. And then he started to read our coverage.
Yeah.
And was like, oh,
this is fine.
You guys aren't crucifying him. And so then he was nice to us. And yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know that I've ever talked about it in detail. That was a really weird and difficult experience just in general. Yeah, the judge straight was like, dunking on her lawyer at various points because he was just not good at it. And then we were like, I don't know, we sat there, and when they came, when they had their verdict, and Varley's team had a press release like ready to rock. The second that thing ended, they turned around and handed it to us, a statement to the press.
Yeah.
It was oof. Data was not part of that, no. The Denver Post sent like 5 or 6 different people. During that, and they like it, and it started with like it was like their traffic reporter or some bullshit, and then it just rolled on down to it eventually got to be like their crime reporter, and that dude just showed up and was like, "What's the haps?" And we just gave him all the details, and then they did an entire story basically quoting us with no attribution whatsoever. It was like, okay, whatever. It was weird though. Yeah, it was weird. I remember looking it up, like going through the docket to try and figure out like, okay, where is this? And then going down and finding the courtroom and then going in and blah, 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 blah. Andy does still write for us. Andy has, and Andy knows this. She's allowed to write for us whenever she wants. As much or as little as she wants. She has an open invitation to write for us and say whatever she wants. Because she kicks ass.
Yep.
Yeah. Any other ventures down history you guys want to go through?
Oh boy.
Jesse's doing whatever he wants to be doing. I'll let Jesse tell Jesse's story. I miss Jesse too. P.S. We are hoping to have Jesse come on as a guest sometime soon.
Yep.
Any LG stories? Do you guys remember when we had LG on the podcast? We worked on that for weeks. Jesse and I hammered away trying to schedule that. And the night she swung by the office to record it, we actually ended up hanging out for like 4.5 hours that night. We just sat around at the office just bullshitting and talking about her journey and what it was like for her to go, where she had her start as a Broncos cheerleader and transitioning through all of that. That was awesome. The call-in line on BSN was a good time. That was a good time. That was a fun idea. That the big problem we had with that is that the Abs fans were the only ones that really used it.
Yeah. Now we have YouTube live chat instead.
Yeah, that's right. We have super chats and shit. Yeah, LG is legitimately awesome. She's one of the few people where when you see her on TV and you're like, she looks like she'd be fun to hang out with, and then you do, it's like awesome. she kicks ass. I don't know that I could hold a person in higher regard than I do Lauren Gardner. She just, when LG got the job at Altitude, she rolled into the Avs locker room and introduced herself to every single Avs player, and then walked up to JJ and myself and said, "Are you AJ and JJ?" And we were like, "Yeah, what's up?" And she was like, "I listened to your guys' show to try and figure out, to try and learn as much as I can about the Avs. I listen to you guys every day, or every episode. You guys are great. Love your show, blah, 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 blah." And we're like, it was like the coolest thing ever.
We did a lot of Twitch during the off time.
During the first days of COVID, all the shutdowns, we were on Twitch all the time.
And we had plans to do more stuff with Twitch, but this season has just been absolutely bonkers with the schedule, so we really haven't done anything with it.
Yeah, definitely.
Just kind of the reality there. Yep, one more hour until the trades start coming in, hopefully. But who knows?
I do remember Julie Brauman. Jesse and I helped her start a podcast.
She still does some podcast, right?
Yeah. Oh, yes, the window. God, when JJ and I were at the media school, we had the window that we would sit there and people would walk by, and our pod would be playing on the thing outside. So they would walk by and just stare at us, and so we would stare right back, and sometimes just talk to people. It was that was fun. Paul Stastny's going to be a free agent this summer, and I can't help but wonder. I wonder if that guy is tired of getting overpaid on every contract he signs, and will come back to Colorado for 1 year at $1 million
to try to win.
Yeah, take Belmar's spot as the 4C.
What a world! Are you? If you do that, the Avs could legitimately be talking about not playing Jost or Comfer at center, and their forward lineup at center is McKinnon, Kadri, Newhook, Stastny.
That'd be fun.
Yeah. I don't know. Absolutely nothing is going on, guys.
Yeah, I've had multiple players tell me that they've listened to the show before. After the whole thing with Graves last year, I know he listened. He told me he did. It was pretty funny. I know that some of the front office peeps, scouts and stuff have listened to the show. I know that some scouts from other teams have listened to the show. So that's cool. One of these days I'm going to retire and we're going to have a lot of fun telling stories.
Boy.
Yeah, the thing with Graves last year where the Avs said that he was in the lineup and
then he showed up.
He showed up
at the arena, but
yeah,
he wasn't late because he wasn't actually in the lineup.
He showed up 35 minutes before puck drop because he walked in with me, just side by side, and I said hello, and he said hello, and then I went upstairs and sat down and opened up my laptop, and he was like, he was listed, or he wasn't there. He wasn't out on warmups, and I tweeted out and was like, Graves was supposed to be in the lineup, and he just walked in the arena with me, and that was all I said. And it was an accidental implication that he was late. It's not what I meant to. It's not what I meant to say. And it fucking blew up after the game because he quote tweeted me and was like, I knew I wasn't in the lineup. If you just have if you guys have a question next time, just ask or something. And the entirety of Nova Scotia
got real mad at you.
Bombarded me for fucking 3 days and shit talked me. And like I apologized for it, and like for the next week, like I would go up and I went and I apologized to Graves in person. I was sitting in his locker after practice, and he like walked in and he looked at me, and I was like, dude, I'm so sorry. And he was like, dude, come on. And I was like, he was like, that's how a narrative gets started that follows a guy in his whole career. I was like, first of all, thank you for assuming I have that kind of power. It was like quite the compliment. But second of all, if you fucking read the tweet that you quoted, I didn't say anything. Like, I didn't accuse you of anything. It was just poor wording on my part. And it was just, oh my God, dude. It was like, it was crazy. It just blew up. It blew up into something crazy. And then I even asked Graves like a week later. I was like, dog, like your people are still coming after me. I was like, it would not be the worst thing in the world if you could like maybe call off some of your homies. If you could like get on next door and tell all of Nova Scotia to just chill the fuck out. That I'm not after you, and I'm not like, and he just kind of laughed and did nothing. And it was like, whatever. Like, this is fine. Like, Graves is an awesome dude. And then I used that as my jumping off point for the feature that I wrote on him last season, which is still free to read, and you guys are welcome to go and read it right now. Because in it talks all about how when he was playing in Hartford as a Rangers prospect, how he had lost his love of the game, and how getting traded to Colorado and going to San Antonio, where he got to play golf during the day, helped reinvigorate his love of hockey and helped him remember that this was supposed to be fun. And when he started having fun, he started playing a lot better. And then he got called up into the NHL and played really well. And the team was like, we have something here. And now we are where we are today, where people hold his contract against him every 12 seconds. So, story time. I remember one of the most interesting conversations that I ever had. Thank you, by the way. One of the most interesting conversations I ever had was with Tyson Jost about Cale Makar. It was after Makar's freshman season. And I was like, what do you tell him? I was like, have you talked to him? Have you texted him? And this started as an on-the-record conversation. And then as soon as I started my line of questioning, 14 fucking television reporters showed up and surrounded me and just jammed their microphones in Jost's face. And he looked at me and I looked at him and I was like, I'm out of questions. And he laughed and was like, okay. And then everybody like looked around at each other and was like, do we have any questions for him? And they didn't. So they all left. And then I just sat down next to Jost and continued my conversation off the record. And it was just like, it was like, so a lot of you guys have know this stuff already because you guys are in the Discord and I've talked about this a bunch, but I don't ask questions during pressers because I don't use the stuff from pressers in my stories very often. And if I do, I always ask a question so that I can feel like I'm contributing to my own material. But I don't ask a lot of questions this year during the Zoom call bullshit, which is just a continuation of me not asking questions in scrums. I really, really, really don't like doing it. I hate being part of scrums in general. And the biggest loser in all of the not having, like, of the COVID world is absolutely me. Because I would almost only do exclusive interviews with players where I would wait for everybody to go to wherever they were going to go and have their story that day. And then I would go somewhere else and talk to somebody different. And that way I wasn't giving the same recycled quotes and all of that shit. Didn't do any of that. So I always went somewhere else and talked to guys on my own. Also a great way to build up personal relationships with guys. It's why I certainly have always felt like I've had a better relationship with McKinnon than most people. Is because I just chat him up. That dude and we will talk some Nuggets. I'm so bummed I can't actually talk Nuggets with him this season with how dope they are.
Yeah, if you want to join the DNVR Discord, you have to be a subscriber to the website. But once you're a subscriber, you can just go over to the lounge page and sign up for our Discord. AJ's the ghost story guy. I don't have ghost stories. Ghosts aren't real.
What do you mean ghosts aren't real? I don't understand. They very clearly are, dude. Like, there's very obviously a plane of existence beyond this one.
Uh-huh.
I just don't know where all it goes. Are you guys familiar with Heaven's Gate, the cult?
Yeah.
The one where they had the suicide pact and like 40 people like killed themselves, and because the
drinking of the Kool-Aid thing like came from them.
No, that was Jim Jones. Yeah, Jim Jones happened in the 70s. That was a long time ago.
Yeah, but like the modern version was Heaven's Gate for drinking.
Yeah, Heaven's Gate was the one where they thought that the spaceship was attached to the Hale-Bopp comet, and
it was going to come down and pick them up.
Yeah. That was. Oh, hey, the Avs acquired Carl Soderbergh.
Hey!
Oh my God, they traded Ryder Ralston.
Did they really? That's a good piece to move based on this year.
Okay, so Josh Dickinson and Ryder Ralston for Carl Soderbergh has happened.
That's fine. That's a good deal. All right, stuff to talk about. Let's go. Okay. So.
Dude, this is just getting the band back together.
Straight up. Well, Carl Soderbergh is a 3C. What are Carl's numbers this year? I guess we should start there.
I don't understand.
15 points in 34 games for Carl in Chicago.
That is a what? Boy, that is a 36-point pace.
Yep. Oh, I need to pull up Chicago. Carl Soderbergh. Soderbergh.
Still playing center, still losing faceoffs.
Yeah, not doing face-offs. His Corsi numbers are kind of awful in every imaginable way.
Oh my God, 42.
Yeah.
My goodness, sir. Oh, a lot of D-zone deployment, though.
Yeah, that is true.
Huh.
Let me look at his impacts.
It's trade up for Ryder Ralston and then move him a year later.
I mean, he had a 4-point season.
Yeah.
And Alan Haefele finally got tired of watching Notre Dame hockey.
Yeah, I guess all they have left now is Nicky Lieberman.
Yep. All right. So here's the thing, is that he doesn't play the PK at all, or at least he didn't in Chicago.
Oh, and he's not going to do it in Colorado. There's no point.
I mean, yeah, sure. That's fine. Chicago's offense has been significantly better without him, but that's because he plays on the bottom six, really. And their defense is pretty similar with or without him. I don't know. His underlying numbers are not great. He's 35.
Yeah, this is the last year. He's on a 1-year deal that costs nothing.
Right. Contract is irrelevant.
All right. This is taking familiarity a step too far.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm landing as well.
If you were going to do this, they should have just gotten Matt Nieto.
I guess he provides marginally more offense than Tyson Jost at 3C is what you're getting here.
Yeah, except all the underlyings are bad.
Yeah, well, yes, all the underlyings are very bad, but presumably those will at least move in the right direction in Colorado, right? Because Chicago's depth sucks.
Yeah.
Is Nieto better?
I mean, he's better than Liam O'Brien.
Nieto has 7 points in 28 games this year. So production-wise, he's absolutely not been better than Soderbergh.
Guess that contract number wasn't a problem after all. They're down to 48 again.
Yeah, it's the contract limit is not a thing. It's so easy to move out of contract of some guy like Josh Dickinson if you want to. It's the easiest thing in the world to do. And that's the good side here is the Avs gave up virtually nothing. They gave up Ryder Ralston and Josh Dickinson, which
Josh Dickinson's ELC ended this year.
Yeah,
so.
that was literally nothing. There's no value there. And Ryder Ralston was a draft pick, but had a significant down year at Notre Dame. Is unlikely to have a conversation about him even potentially signing an ELC for another 2 years.
Huh.
It's forward depth, but it's the marginalist of upgrades. If assuming the Avs intend him to play him at 3C, it doesn't feel great.
I don't know, man. I want to see how he's used first. What the shit? Scott Lawton got a 5-year deal.
Well, that's Philadelphia's problem now.
All right. No, I don't understand the. I don't understand.
I don't really get the move either. Honestly, this is what this move feels like. Is the Avs for some reason decided that they had to keep their trade deadline day trade streak going, and they knew Carl Soderbergh's name.
I mean, given the cost of this is
right. Again, the cost is basically nothing, so it's fine.
Yeah.
But how much better does Carl Soderbergh make the Avs bottom six?
Why couldn't they have just dealt the 7th? I mean, I don't know. I ideally you leave everything that's working and you put Soderbergh on the left side next to Belmar and Comfer. But one, we have consistently seen that Soderbergh kind of sucks as a wing.
Yep. You can't. Which side is his bad eye? Also, because he legitimately just can't play that side of the ice.
It's got to be the right side because he played left wing in Colorado.
Yeah. Okay. So he like legitimately cannot play on that side of the ice. On the opposite side because he won't be able to see the center of the ice.
I mean, if I felt comfortable that he was going to
lock into a solid role on the third line or something.
If I felt comfortable he was going to be on the fourth line and even replacing Belmar. But like the one thing that you say about Belmar is that he's winning a shitload of his faceoffs.
Yep. I don't see how he can replace Belmar. Like
so I guess he replaces like Belmar takes the faceoff and then they kind of treat it like they do the top line where Landeskog takes the faceoff and then they roll.
What?
They didn't need like another fourth line guy though.
Right. Like that's the thing.
Like between their own internal guys, they were fine.
How do you again, Soderbergh doesn't play the PK.
Yeah.
So putting him in for someone like Belmar would be problematic for the Avs in the way they deploy their guys. Yeah. Again, it's probably fine, but does Soderbergh really help you at all on the fourth line? It doesn't feel like it. He's not going to have the opportunity to really produce very much on the fourth line, which you went and got him to help you your bottom six score, right? Like that's the concept of acquiring this dude. And the only way I see him being effective is if you put him on the third line to make it work somehow.
Yeah. I don't know. This is fine. Yeah, it doesn't satisfy the grit. And he's big, but he doesn't play.
He doesn't play physical at all.
Yeah, he's always been a big softy. I don't know. I guess this is like a third line center. It could be a third line center. I think this deal will depend on how Jared Bednar uses him.
Yep, I agree.
Because if he takes Jost out of there just as Jost is finding his legs, then this is really, really questionable. If you end up with some combination of Soderbergh, Belmar, and Comfer on your fourth line, it's just from a talent perspective, that's a fourth line that's going to outskill almost all other fourth lines and still be able to do other things. This doesn't bode well for Matt Calvert playing another game.
No, that is definitely true. Calvert's probably
LOC. cannot feel great about LOC coming back at any point this year. I don't know.
It's a weird deal.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think it makes sense to put Soderbergh on the fourth line, but you're right. Like, it'd be really hard to move Jost off of 3C right now for Carl Soderbergh.
Yeah.
So do you just play him on the wing? Do you run a Donskoy, Jost, Soderbergh line? Because you can put Donskoy on whichever side is better for Soderbergh. Like, it doesn't matter. Do you move Jost to the wing but keep him on the third line?
Yeah, the one thing that Jost doesn't do well is win faceoffs.
He's been fine this year at faceoffs, though. He hasn't done well, but he's like 40% or something.
Yeah, it's been better than in the past where he's been like 42%.
Yeah.
He's been getting crushed. And this year, it's at 46%. So
it's gone down then. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Previous years I gave him too much credit. Last year he was 33%.
That's really bad.
Like normally when you talk about like 48 to 52% in the faceoff circle is a difference of like 1 or 2 faceoffs a game. It's not that big of a deal. But 33% is holy shit, that's bad.
Is this a concept? The Avs aren't done. There could be another player on the move.
Yeah, I mean, we always. How many times do you feel like that? Where the biggest way to logic your way through a trade that you may not understand
is that there's more to come. Yeah,
exactly. Is to assume that this is step 1 in the master plan.
Well, they've got about 35 minutes to execute the plan. If there's more, so
if there's more, I won't be surprised. If they're done, I also won't be surprised.
And all right, so the more is going to be what? Nick Holden, Matt Nieto.
Yeah.
Who else can they bring back?
I'm afraid to send a "Are you guys done?" text message. Huh. I don't know. That's
right. So stuff happened, and we might be even more lost than we were before stuff happened.
I mean, this is like Matthias Janmark for a second or Carl Soderbergh for Ryder Ralston.
For basically nothing. Right, and like no matter what, even if the Avs do nothing else, even if this trade is Carl Soderbergh and he plays on your fourth line and he doesn't produce a single thing, like when you look at the trade value, it's fine.
Yeah. Don't love to give up Ralston.
I don't mind it as much as you. You're the Ralston lover.
Well, and it's more that they.
I get it's the concept of a guy they actively look to get at the draft.
It's not even that, man. It's just looking at their system. It's gonna thin out really fast. Like their reserve list, their unsigned prospect list is about to thin really fast. Because if they sign all these guys to ELCs who should get them, okay, well now those guys are in your pro system. But then who are your prospects? Because you've traded away.
How can you make
picks this year? They've already dipped into next year's pool. You know that next year at the deadline, they will either continue to dip into next year's pool or the year after that. And this just sort of turns into a cycle, you know?
I hear what you're saying, but how can you make that argument and then say you also want the Avs to trade away all their picks this year?
I want that for hilarity's sake, not like from a business perspective, if I'm running the organization perspective, I'm still valuing my picks.
Well, I mean, here's how I look at this then. Right now, at this very moment, this could absolutely change. But right now, you got Carl Soderbergh for Ryder Ralston. That allows the Avs to retain their 3rd round pick in this coming draft. Like, how would you feel about it if it was a 3rd round pick instead of Ryder Ralston?
I would hate it.
Right. So the Avs retained the more valuable piece as far as replenishing prospect pool. Yes, they moved a prospect out, but they have something still coming.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Did it have to be? It couldn't have been Ty Lewis.
I mean, it was already Josh Dickinson. Like,
that's what I'm saying. Like,
they had to give them something that maybe has not made up value.
If you're gonna dump a guy, dump a guy. I don't know. That's fine. It's It's fine.
It's fine, he says. This is like when the wife is upset. That's what that "it's fine" sounds like. They say it's fine, but they don't mean it.
Huh. All right. This is super what I don't like about the deadline.
The silly moves that
have
no real impact.
Well, Dubnyk and Nemeth made sense. Those are
real
holes
that they filled, sure.
Right. Those are real holes that they filled. Those are tangible, and the price that they did it at is so nothing.
I mean, the price for them is the same as the price for Soderbergh, so I don't know how you can make the price argument here. But I 100% agree with you that Soderbergh's fit doesn't make a ton of sense.
That's the thing that I don't like about it, is that this particular move is very do it for the sake of doing it.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's a do it for the sake of doing something move. I'm with you on that. I don't really understand it. I don't think it really makes the Avs better. Like I said, at best, it's a marginal improvement to your offensive production on like your third line. It's a weird move, but it's fine, legitimately fine, because you paid very, very little here.
Yeah, definitely. And what I don't want to do is, like, Tyson Jost has finally found a good role in Colorado. What I don't want to do is see them get Carl Soderbergh, have Carl Soderbergh drop in at 3C, and now you have Jost floating around your lineup, not sure of what the fuck he is anymore. For the first time in 4 years, the guy had solid footing.
Well,
and if you cut out his legs from underneath of him because you wanted Carl Soderbergh,
yeah, that's the problem, right? If you
I just don't not knowing how this plays out with Bednar in Soderbergh in the lineup, I'm just imagining like worst case scenario here, right?
No, I
that's what worries me about it.
And that's the thing, right? Like, you feel a lot more okay with Jost losing his footing if the Avs went out and got a piece that was like, look, this guy is more or less guaranteed to provide you something very quality in the 3C role.
Yeah.
But that is not what Soderbergh is at all right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if he plays on the fourth line, then I'm totally good with this. Then I have absolutely no issues whatsoever. If they drop him into Liam O'Brien's spot or Belmar's spot and Belmar moves over to the left side, either one of those are completely fine.
I would still rather Soderbergh on the third line. I think the trade doesn't make any sense unless you're going to play him on the third line. But you find a way to do that and keep Tyson Jost on the third line as well.
I don't know. When we were talking about Taylor Hall yesterday, I had no issues touching the third line. But for Carl Soderbergh, why mess with the thing? That third line has been a buzzsaw for you for a month. Why?
To get,
and again, if it ends up being the fourth line, then fine. But you and I, neither one of us clearly trust that that's about to happen.
Yeah, I certainly don't think that's what's about to happen. And I think you do it to get more consistent production out of it. That's why you do it. It's just that the Avs seemingly have more faith in Soderbergh actually being able to provide more production than we do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Soda's not
Fair
going
enough.
to PK.
Yeah. I don't know. If they really wanted to get bold and this meant that Belmar got kicked out of the lineup, that would be okay.
I mean, that, like, if you kick Belmar out of the lineup for Soderbergh and then you bring LOC back into the lineup
Over O'Brien,
because LOC can take Belmar's job PKing,
Yep.
then yeah, maybe you're having a conversation. But
yeah, like I said, the usage will determine how good or bad this ends up being.
Yep.
Either way, this is maybe taking my reacquiring players is smart business because you don't have to worry about any of the bullshit. Maybe a step too far, but this is fine.
Yeah. It's a little out of control.
Boy. I mean, if Belly's not in the lineup, he's still in the locker room.
And yes, Carl Soderbergh is an upgrade over Liam O'Brien, but so is Kiefer Sherwood, so is Martin Kaut, so is Shane Bowers. The Avs had plenty of ways to replace Liam O'Brien without going and getting Carl Soderbergh.
Yep. And all this, like, oh, they're preparing depth for the playoffs. They don't have to play Sheldon Dries. Sheldon Dries was a choice.
Yep.
Not something they were forced into. Yeah, Belmar's had a great year in the faceoff circle. Everything else has been overrated.
Yep.
His work on the PK has been nowhere near as good as people like to pretend, and his even strength numbers are not very good.
The Avs' best PKers this year are Jost and Logan O'Connor.
And Nichushkin.
And Nichushkin has been great, but their usage of him on the PK has been weird.
Yeah, it's almost been like they're afraid of it.
Yeah. So, this, as AJ has pointed out, it's really weird to make much of this trade because where they end up using him is going to significantly impact it. And if they play him on the fourth line, it doesn't make them better, sure, but they're not going to get very much out of him. They play him on the third line. There's the potential for them to get more out of him, but he could also just not provide that. And there's the question of what it does to the rest of the lineup.
Yeah. Yeah, and like you have to give something up for this. So, we're fine with this price tag. If you do this 2 or 3 times every single year, you talk about, the window is 4 or 5 years, or the window is whatever.
If
you do this at every single deadline, you're going to run out of prospects.
You make 3 bit piece trades every deadline, and that's how you dry up the system. 100%.
And like the system's very healthy right now, but you also have to keep in mind that like they are very, very close to graduating a lot of guys at one time. And once guys get into pro hockey, like you need to have a reserve list system still rolling.
Yep. And it happens quick. Like,
yeah.
If what this year's draft looks like the same, if they decide to move out a significant number of picks the year after and then the third year too, your prospect system is decimated at that point. If you have like 3 picks a year for 3 years, you'll have almost nothing left.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I guess we will see.
Come on, Goodbranson for a 7th, baby. Yeah. Anyway, not a big deal.
No,
it's
no.
not. It's not amazing. It's not bad.
It just kind of is. Yep.
It's fine. So, yeah, we'll see. I can't believe there's a game tonight, man. I don't think that I tweeted about this earlier. Actually agreeing with Alan Walsh on this. But trade deadline day should be an off day for the entire league.
100%. There should be no hockey games on trade deadline day.
Yeah.
Agreed.
How many times has Sakic traded players for picks?
A lot of times.
I mean, no. I mean, traded players away.
He moved players out. Yeah, like almost never.
Yeah. Can anybody think of any examples? Because I've got one, and that's it.
Yeah, I can think of one.
What's yours?
When he moved out. All right, so technically, hang on.
I don't mean like pick swaps or anything. So no Derek Brassard.
No. What if there's a pick involved? Because he moved Max Talbot for Jordan Caron in a 6th.
Nope, not count.
I'm
not counting that.
Okay. Let's see. I can pull up the rest.
Because I've got 2 examples.
Because one of them was Soderbergh, right?
Yep, Soderbergh and Holden are the only guys that I can think of. And Soderbergh's, given that they turned around and traded the picks.
Yeah, for people immediately.
Yeah, 10 seconds later. Yeah, Ginla doesn't count because that was a fake pick.
That pick was
from the
never
beginning.
going to actually be a thing.
It had no chance of conveying. It's really just Soderbergh and Holden, and Holden is the only one where they didn't already have that pick spent.
Yep.
Because they did Soderbergh, and then 2 days later did Burakovsky.
Yeah, and the last time, I guess that would have been right before Sakic took over, right? They got a 4th for Ryan O'Byrne in 2013.
Yeah, that would have been, depending on when in 2013.
April.
Dude, that's
like literally right before he took over. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, like even before Sakic, Lyles for a 2nd is the only like notable trade where they got a pick coming back the other way.
So, point is that this just doesn't happen the other direction.
The Avs have never been good at finding picks. Let's see.
So, the idea that they are going to, Sam Bennett to Florida. Here we go.
Ooh, that's interesting. Is that the one that's going to kick off the rush to the final buzzer?
Yeah, I'm hoping so, man. Let's do this. Let's get weird. Sam Bennett to Florida. That's fun.
What did they give up for him?
I don't know yet. Man, I'm tired.
That'll be interesting. Dude, I'm tired too.
I'm so ready
before the game.
Yeah. I think I might. So I'm going to write a grading Colorado's trade deadline piece instead of just writing a Soderbergh.
Yeah, put Nemeth and Dubnik in there too.
Oh, yeah, I need to update that.
All right. Who's more effective player right now, today? Don't talk about future, just for the rest of this season. Sam Bennett or Carl Soderbergh?
Ooh, right now, that's really hard to say because Sam Bennett has kind of tanked.
Yeah.
In a role in a place that he's badly wanted out.
Yep.
So Iginla doesn't count in the trades because that was a fake pick.
Yep.
The conditions were not going to be met, and we knew that the second that the trade was made.
Yep.
And we got those details. Otherwise, it would have totally counted. Had there been a chance that those conditions could have been met, I would have been happy to count it.
Does Dougie Hamilton, or not Dougie, Freddie Hamilton count then?
Also, one with a condition that had no chance of being met. It was like he had to play X number of games. And when that deal happened, like it was like impossible.
It could have happened. Like it was super unlikely, but it wasn't like impossible.
So I guess if you want to include Freddie Hamilton for a conditional 7th, you can. I'll allow it, but it really doesn't like go against what I'm talking about here.
Okay.
Devin Dubnyk. So it's still just Denmark. No Arizona.
Yep, Arizona.
No Minnesota and no St. Louis. None of these teams have done anything.
St. Louis was supposedly in on someone, but they haven't confirmed anything. Yeah.
Rudolph, I'm sending you a message.
Okay. Oh, Evan wants in. Let's get Evan.
Hell yeah.
That was like 45 minutes ago, so maybe he doesn't. I don't know.
Jump in, Ev.
Where are you sending me a message?
I put it on StreamYard.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. I have messages here too.
Why are you so popular?
I'm not, dude. It's just people telling me to work.
Work.
Okay. So Eric Gustafson to Montreal just happened.
That is such an I don't give a shit move.
Yep.
Everybody loves Phil to know.
All right. Here's the big question that Twitter is asking, AJ. Carl Soderbergh or Jacob McDonald? Who wears 34?
Jacob McDonald.
It's McDonald's to lose.
Yeah, he's got it on. It's up to Carl to buy it out from him.
Does Carl make enough to buy out a number?
Definitely. Sam Bennett, a second-round pick and a prospect.
Yeah, that makes sense, unfortunately. Thank you for the update, Tiffany.
Why is it going to be postponed? What happened?
Because police decided to shoot another black guy in Minneapolis. Yep. Bennett cost a 2022 second and some prospect that I've never heard of that was taken in the second round last year.
Which one?
Emil Heineman.
Is that the DU kid?
Maybe. I don't watch DU hockey if I can help it.
Why not?
It is not the DU kid. He was playing.
Oh, he's Swedish.
Sweden. Yeah.
Who am I thinking of?
My mother went to CC, so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You give off a real Colorado Springs vibe. All right. I am moving past chat right now.
Yeah. We're doing stuff and things. Florida got Bennett. That's right.
Yo, Eric Gustafson went for a 7th round pick. That was the move.
It was for a 7th.
Damn it. That was the move. Shit, that's fun.
Okay. That's that. Wow.
What's up?
Eric Gustafson cost a 7th, and the Flyers retained 50%. Had to really work to get that 7th out of Montreal for him.
Well, Montreal has no money.
Yeah, I know, but
Do you know Eric Gustafson and Gabe Landeskog are BFF?
I knew that they were like friends. I didn't know they were BFFs.
Yeah, Gustafson was one of Landy's groomsmen.
I feel like I knew that, but I definitely didn't remember it.
It's like my favorite Eric Gustafson fact. So I've definitely told you before.
Yeah, that sounds familiar for sure.
Dude, how crazy is it that Eric Gustafson goes from having a 60-point season where he scored 17 goals and 2 years later gets traded for a 7th round pick?
Dude, people fall off quick, man. Just the reality of
it's one reason why I always tell people not to trust defenseman goal scoring.
Don't get attached to it. The 2022 7th too.
Yeah.
Jesus. What up, dog?
I heard big old Carl's back, and I had to get on.
Do you have more to say about it than we do? Because we kind of settled on the line.
What are your thoughts on it?
Yeah.
Whatever. I kind of forgot he was still in the NHL, if I'm going to be honest.
That'll happen to everybody in Chicago's bottom six. So.
I mean, my short-term thoughts are get O'Brien out of the lineup.
Yeah. Chat's with you on that.
Guess who's going to play tonight?
O'Brien.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I guess it'll... Joe seems to be getting more and more comfortable as center. I really just hope this isn't a plan to move him back to the wing. But we won't know until we know, I guess. Kind of... Yeah, I don't know. They got a lot of forwards now. That's all I can really say. When O'Connor's healthy, the one thing it does indicate to me is that Calvert's probably not coming back. That was one thing that popped in my head.
So you pretty much agree with us.
Yeah, you got to the same spot we did.
Yeah. Well, there we go.
Easy enough.
Good talk, everybody.
Now, Evan showed up, so hopefully the trades start rolling in. Are you the magic rabbit's foot that we need here?
Well, Sam Bennett for what? 2 seconds? Get real.
A second and a prospect that was taken in the second. So,
Yeah. Yeah, it's been pretty slow. Janmark's gone. The prize.
Painfully slow. Dude, Janmark I guess Bennett got more than him now, but before Bennett, Janmark was the most expensive guy today.
Yeah.
It's been a little bit yikes.
I'm sure you guys talked about what was this whole thing about the Avs big game hunting? Like, what the heck? How could they even do that?
We talked about it too, and it was like, unless we're talking about something that like is not a rental and is like you go out and get a big name, the type of thing you usually see get done at like the off season or at a draft. But yeah, for a trade deadline move, it felt kind of weird for them to be big game hunting.
The only somewhat big name that popped in my head was Rickard Rakell, but
that's not big game hunting though.
Yeah, I know, that's exactly
enough. But
I would say let's not refer to this in the past tense yet.
Yeah, like for sure. There's still 10 minutes left or something. I guess it's like 5 minutes left. The Avs could do more stuff.
It's more like an hour. Things always trickle.
Right. Like they have to call the NHL hotline or whatever in the next 5 minutes and then wait in line for an hour.
Do you think the NHL has extra staff on hands to answer phones today?
They should.
Do you think they just like bring in other people? And
they
are
should.
like, we need the help.
Nothing's happening. There probably really isn't much of a backup right now.
Dude, I swear, NHL GMs like have a pact agreement that they all have to call in at 1 minute before the deadline ends to confirm their trades. So we'll see.
Thank you for calling the NHL hotline. Do you have a trade to announce?
That's right.
Please
so
hold.
You work there. Yeah. We appreciate your hockey team. Please stay on the line.
A trade Discord. I would love to see that between GMs.
Dude, they totally have one. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, that they've got at least like a Slack channel or something.
All right. This is the time of the trade deadline where I usually start playing bodies. So,
Playing bodies.
Yeah, the song. Because the bodies are about to hit the floor.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't get Gustafson since they're getting every other Swede who knows Gabriel Landeskog right now.
Yo, Ezra, we agreed that Corona is not hot enough. He needs to be a hotter human being.
Who?
Magnus Corona.
Corona.
Is that a person?
He was traded today, and we decided that he was not hot enough for us to care.
Yep.
That's a cool name. I don't know anything about
It's a great name.
Yeah.
That was the thing that we liked about him.
Magnus Krona? Wow.
My name is Magnus. God, what an awesome way to go through life. Named Magnus.
I feel like I wouldn't want to be named Magnus. Like,
Why is that?
I think of the name Magnus and I think of like that world's strongest man level of ripped type of human being. And I would never live up to that hype.
Huh.
Magnus is a big dad name in Sweden. Okay.
Yeah. Sets unreasonable expectations.
Magnus is a middle-aged man name in Sweden. Magnus is the dad name.
Apparently. It's
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, Magnus for Magnusson. I remember him from when I was a kid. Strongest man in the world or whatever.
How can, first of all, why do you want Troy Terry in the first place?
Toe drags.
Second of all, there's no universe where he fits on the Avs now that Soderbergh's here.
We didn't talk about it last night, but can he try that move 3 or 4 more times?
He's got one trick in the bag. That's the one that he can do.
The Atlanta Thrashers are done for the day. That account's incredible.
That Twitter account is so good. Yeah.
I don't know.
Dude, he wasn't hot enough. We can't have a Magnuscaped transition for him.
I am having a hard time imagining a Carl Soderbergh Zoom interview and what that's going to be like.
It was good hockey game.
My friend was telling me a story about him and Carl Soderbergh. So he was flying back from Iceland with a Sweden shirt, and he's not from Sweden. And Carl Soderbergh came up to him and started speaking Swedish. And then my friend just went, "I don't speak Swedish." And Carl walked away.
Oof. Dude, nothing like it hasn't even popped off, or the deadline is now. It's officially over. No more trades can happen. That's not true. You can trade after the deadline. You just can't use them in the playoffs. But Landy for Crosby, good meme. Who's attractive? Who's left out there that's attractive?
I don't know. This is a Mac question.
Yeah, where is he's not? I don't think I haven't seen him in the chat.
Not Magnus Krona.
It's not. He's not that attractive. All right. Well,
What the shit?
People don't seem super hyped on a whole lot of trades coming in post buzzer.
They just announced all the details of the Janmark deal.
Yeah, they got a 6th back or something. I don't know. Oh no, that was someone else's deal. I was just looking at it. Someone got a 6th back in some deal. I don't know.
Big Z staying in Chicago. The dream is over.
Yeah, I really don't know if there's going to be that much coming in this year. Like, honestly, I'm sure there'll be some stuff, but
what happened to Nick Deloria getting traded and then all of a sudden he's fighting in the game last night? I was so lost.
Yeah, and now like he's still a Duck.
Yep.
Wow, they kept Zadorov. Is Vince Dunn hot?
No. I don't know, maybe. He's definitely wouldn't be my type. I'll tell you that. All right, looking at like 15 of Vince Dunn's face is kind of terrifying.
So Minnesota did nothing. Anaheim has something to announce.
Okay. Vegas did Yanmark, and that's it so far. St. Louis did nothing.
Ben Hutton to Toronto?
What?
I guess that's...
I don't understand the salary cap. It's just a suggestion at this point.
Yeah.
How can Toronto do anything? Like, that's what I don't get.
They got Riley Nash, who's hurt. And so they put Riley Nash on their LTIR, and it extends how much LTIR space they have. And then when he comes back in the postseason when there's no cap, he's free to do that.
Yeah.
That's how.
It's all nonsense.
Montreal is done. I tell you, if Colorado's done and I can go to bed, that would be dope.
Dude, it is definitely nap time.
Hutton to the Leafs. Hutton was a guy that we had talked about. Wow.
Yeah,
St. Louis and Minnesota both did nothing.
They both did nothing. They know the West is a two-team race. I'm telling you.
I like this Elliot Friedman. He deleted his first tweet with the question mark and then just posted it without the question mark. But if you just have it on your timeline, it's like Ben Hutton to Toronto? Ben Hutton to Toronto.
I have asked for confirmation if the Avs are done. I have not gotten a response. No! Eric Goodbranson goes to Nashville. That was my 7th round pick dream!
God, that guy is so bad. I was watching that game with Toronto,
awful.
and then the other night, it's just like he passed the puck into his teammate's ass, and Toronto went down and scored.
Ben Hutton got a 5th round pick?
Really?
That's so low. Boy, some of the value of these deals is just all over the place.
Yeah, it's been price-wise pretty chaotic.
Watching somebody get got on a fake Jack Eichel trade, that's fun.
That would never happen at the deadline.
Are they following Pierre LeBum?
Yeah. Still nothing.
I mean, Nemeth for 4th does look like pretty dang good value. It looked good at the time, and now it looks really good. So
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow, Eric Goodbranson got dealt for a 7th round pick too.
In 2023. Oh my God.
This is all I wanted in life. What a bunch of horse shit. I don't know who Barabanov is.
Barabanov?
I'm
Barabanov?
just reading Friedman's tweet.
the guy in Toronto. I think that's who that is.
Yeah, he is from Toronto. You're right.
Barabanov.
Alex Barabanov was a free agent signing by the Leafs who played in St. Petersburg last year and has 1 point in 13 games for the Leafs this year. Neat. Dude, this is slow. There's not been like a rush of trades. There's been a couple, and that's it.
Well, and they're so small.
Yeah, they're the tiniest, like 7th for Goodbranson, 5th for Bennett, nothings.
Alex Goligoski stays put.
Why would you even want Eric Branson for anything?
Dude, David Poyle does dumb shit at the deadline every year.
He just hates 7th round picks as much as AJ.
Why?
It's only this year.
Why trade for him when he could have just signed Keaton Middleton?
Oh my
It's the same player, essentially.
Oh, baby. Don't worry. Eric Goodbranson also got some guy named Brandon Fortunato.
That feels like the most Josh Dickinson of Brandons imaginable.
He was a former BU player. Had not great numbers in the ECHL last year. And that's that.
Nashville has Lucas Spiza, too. They have Spiza. They have Borowicki. Borowicki. Oh, my goodness.
Lucas Pizza.
Yeah. They're just stacking up on those crappy depth defensemen. They can't move.
Do you remember when Winnipeg got Nathan Beaulieu and Lucas Pizza and one other dude? And it was just like, you know, you can't play all these guys, right?
Barabana for Antti Suomela.
A random fucking trade that is. What the hell?
Dude. That's your Rocco Grimaldi for Jacob McDonald.
Yeah.
We're like, who made this phone call?
Neat. I feel really bad for James Duthie and the Trade Center crew today.
I don't.
Why?
Because they're going to get to make up for it with both an expansion draft show
That's true.
and
The
a crazy free agency
that will
day.
pop the hell off. Yeah.
Because I think it's going to be bananas this year.
When is free agency? Because the season ends all weird. Is it
I don't know,
like
sometime
August or
this year.
something?
Yeah, it's not clear, I don't think.
I used to have the calendar, and now I don't remember what it is.
Nathan McKinnon's the player of the week.
Has been traded.
McKinnon is the player.
You don't announce that right after the trade deadline passes.
No more New Jersey deals, so the Ryan Murray dream dies.
Did he die?
Dream.
Depends if they could get him for a 7th specifically or not.
Cool.
Yes, I follow or signing for 4 mil could potentially help the Avs keep Sod for sure. I mean, obviously, it's just going to depend. If Sod wants to get value on the free market as free agency, he's going to do it regardless. But his deal may start to look more affordable for the Avs. Indeed. That it sums up this trade deadline day.
Man, I was really excited to do this show thinking that it was going to be a little more than this.
I wasn't expecting a lot today, but yeah, this has been nothing. Like
not much in the way of expectations at all. And it's still just been like somehow this disappointed.
My goodness. Well, yeah, I'm glad that there's 500 of you people watching us just sit here.
Literally just chilling. Got some good story time in, I guess.
Yeah, there's some good stories for sure.
Story time.
You got any cool ghost stories, Evan?
Ghost stories?
Yeah.
Whoa. First off, are ghosts real?
Oh, is that the starter question?
Yeah.
I don't know. I did stay at that hotel. What, the Estes Park Hotel, the Stanley?
Yeah, the Stanley Hotel.
I was on that floor. I forget the room, but I swear I woke up in the middle of the night and heard some crap. The wife did.
Those are just the actors.
Yeah. Jack Nicholson sleeps in that room. Yeah, I don't. There's got to be some ghosts out there. That's what I think.
There's got to be some ghosts out there.
What's up, ghosts? It's your boy. I don't have any other ghost stories, no.
Boring.
No. Well, what? Sorry. Like, I would assume most people don't have ghost stories.
How about some dad stories?
Those are not interesting.
Oh, the Jets added a depth D.
But it
Lucas
wasn't.
We don't know the details yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, come on. Lucas Pizza. Just one more run with Lucas Pizza and we'll be good. Fun fact, did you know that he was drafted with an Avs pick?
Of course he was. Well, that was first.
Was almost
right?
a Duchesne pick, wasn't it? Yeah.
It was. It was very close. That was the Adam Foote deal.
Tell us the story of the couch behind you. Well,
He
I
went
went
down to
to
AFW.
American Furniture Warehouse.
All right.
I,
Hayden Fleury got traded.
Who?
Hayden Fleury.
Oh, that's actually sort of interesting.
I mean, okay, so that's Edmonton is done. So Hayden Fleury got traded and Winnipeg added a depth D. Can I put those pieces together?
I think there's a connection there, perhaps.
Capitals get Michael Raffle.
Raffle's still playing.
For another couple weeks.
I had no idea he was still in the league, honestly.
We need a graphic where we just cross off teams that are finished so we can try and put pieces together.
Dominoes. Yep. My dog is not here. Oh, he's upstairs somewhere. He's not. I don't think he's here. I guess I should check the couch. Blends in.
Here.
Yeah, Dominoes. Nolan Patrick's coming to Colorado. There's the domino.
We can put on
Oh,
doggo
we just
cam.
got the Joe Sakic availability email.
Advisory.
There you go.
It's 6:30.
Oh, that's late.
Well, it's right
That-
before the game.
guess-
Right
yeah,
before the
do it
game.
Before game time, yeah.
That historically that means that they are finished.
Yep. Hayden
What the
Fleury
fuck?
to Anaheim? Ducks, what is you doing? What the hell? The weirdness of this deadline continues.
So why would Carolina trade Hayden Fleury at the deadline to the Ducks? I know they have a lot of defensemen, but I thought they were also looking to pick one up.
Yeah, I don't know. I
feel like I'm talking to a dog right now.
You are. This is Rex speaking.
Rex, what are your thoughts?
What is the return for Hayden Fleury though? Like,
come on, it's got to be Josh Manson, right?
Oh, that would be funny.
Like, it's got to be bigger than. Like, why would Anaheim be?
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, is that like Hayden Fleury for like Dan Heinen?
Ooh.
I love Micah's post where he just tells you how good or bad somebody is. It's just like, Michael Raffle is an average forward. Yeah. That's it. I didn't even see what Soderbergh said. Oh, he's still a third liner. I would not have suspected that.
Yep.
I would keep him away from the power play. All right.
Dude, my dog would be the worst hockey player. He'd get interference calls on every play. He loves jumping on people.
Casa Bonita filed for bankruptcy. Oof.
I mean, that's been a long time coming.
Yeah.
What in the world?
Sakic's availability just came out. Listen, our scouts have not been able to actually watch teams this year, so we just went back to the well of guys that we kind of knew.
So, I'm just gonna lean my head up against my mic here while I tweet. Hopefully, I don't fall asleep.
Oh shit!
It's the sound of a tweet.
All right, the chat is split on the sounds of your forehead, AJ. Some love it, some hate it.
Oh yeah,
ASMR tweeting.
That's right. I should get a mechanical keyboard, and we can really.
Oh god, don't get blues, please. Don't get blue switches.
AJ's just gonna whisper, and now I will send the tweet.
I don't want to have to mute you on every show we do. The Oilers got Kulikov. They made a move.
I gave ASMR tingles. All right, I'm opening a YouTube page.
Oh.
Get people get paid for that.
I mean, Hakanpaa a pick for Hayden Fleury and Jordy Ben to Winnipeg.
Okay, but why?
No. Haven't been told that they're officially finished, but I think
they done.
yeah. When they announce their media availability, that's pretty much
it. They done. Yeah. Wow. You've successfully now moved your mic to block your entire face.
Yeah. Well, when I turn, I like run into it. Like, it hits my shoulder, and so it's like
you need it out of the way. Why is it like a high pick at least? Because Hakanpää kind of sucks.
A 6th rounder.
Jesus. Why did you do that, Carolina?
Wow.
They just wanted a right shot. Probably all it was.
I guess.
Man, it's not good. Jordy Ben fits the Jets, LOL. And all the numbers are bad. It's a great name, though. Yanni Hakanpää.
Too bad he doesn't have a single goal this year, so you can't even make that call.
Oh, is that like the Mortal Kombat thing?
Yeah.
Newhook is still working through visa issues. He'll be with the Eagles eventually. I mean, Vegas got a little better. They got Janmark.
Yeah.
People want to know if you'll become an announcer someday, AJ.
What's that? No. Nobody would want that.
Dude, the West really didn't do shit today.
Yep.
Janmark to Vegas and
then
Soderbergh to Colorado, and that's it.
Yo, Chicago traded Madison Bowie to Vancouver for some reason.
How many times has Madison Bowie been traded in the last 4 years? What the hell?
Well, once Washington gave up on him.
Yeah.
I think it was then Detroit and then Chicago and now Vancouver.
Yep.
Could you imagine getting traded to Vancouver right now with everything that's happening?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
I am opting out from the post-deadline.
Right?
What did I do to your family?
Did you see all the shit that Nick Foligno took because he said his family would be staying in Ohio, and then he said no offense. And people in Ontario were like,
took that super personal. I'm
yeah,
sure.
they were like, "Oh, you'd rather be in Ohio than Ontario? Well, you're a fucking idiot!" And it was like,
Isn't Ontario on lockdown again?
yeah, Ontario's having some problems here. It's not like life is grand.
Yo, the N64 pod racing game was low-key super underrated. That game was fire.
Sure. It was good.
Bowie got a 5th round.
Oh my god.
And a 5th. It was a weird pick swap.
Yeah. Madison Bowie and a 5th for a 4th.
Yeah, that's no value.
Would you feel a little shitty being involved in a deal like this?
Yes. Especially
and, you find out how much a team values you.
In my head, right? You're Madison Bowie, and they come in, and then you find out about the trade, and it's like, oh, I got traded for a 4th. That's not that bad. And then you find out that they give a 5th with you for the 4th, and you're like, oh.
I don't know, man. If I found out that a team gave me away for a 6th round pick, I'd be like,
Road Rash was dope.
kind of suck it.
Oh. At least I'm not Gabranson.
Yeah, how did it feel when Freddie Hamilton got moved for a conditional 7th?
Yeah, well, some of that was because Dougie was still in Calgary and he wanted to be with the brother.
I know, but
so there was at least like something there where it was like, I don't give a shit what they gave up. Like, I'm going back to be with my brother. Now I can't read Hakanpää without just wanting to scream it.
What did Mika say now?
What the fuck? Detroit traded Anthony Mantha?
they did?
Ooh, to the
That's
Washington
actual
Capitals.
News. That's actually news.
Yo,
For Vrana?
Vrana?
That's crazy.
Wow. That's a good one, actually.
1 for 1.
There you go.
No, Vrana and Panik.
That's,
I mean, that's
just like a
that's
dude.
cap dump. Yeah,
That's a big one.
that's crazy. Something finally happened, chat.
Yeah, and it's like a bunch of teams we don't give a shit about.
Yeah, right.
The only reason I care about this is that Vrana's on my fantasy team.
And now he plays in a dumpster fire.
Son of a bitch.
I have Vrana, too. He's such a bad fantasy player, though.
Yeah, he is.
He doesn't do anything most of the games.
Timberwolves Nets NBA game was postponed.
Yeah, I thought I saw St. Louis, Minnesota might be, too.
Yeah.
They haven't announced it.
Drager said it's likely to be.
How fucking funny is that? After all of their bullshit, Anthony Mantha last year, because I suggested the Detroit trade Mantha last year.
Yep.
And a bunch of Red Wings fans were like, why would they trade him? That doesn't make any sense. And a year later, they fucking move him.
And they got fucking Vrana for him, so.
That's nice. Vrana's really good.
Actually,
I don't get it.
Let me look up Vrana's deal before
I know that Vrana was.
Yeah, it expires this year, and he's an RFA, so they can lock him up. Yeah,
He's been a healthy scratch recently.
I mean, he's got 25 points in 39 games. It's not like crazy, but it's definitely not scratch worthy. They get that's 5.7 million off the books for Mantha. So I guess Washington just like knew they couldn't re-sign Vrana, right? That's what this trade is.
Well, and it certainly helps that Mantha being signed.
That's what I'm saying.
Hard number they can work around.
They know they're locked in at 5.7 with Mantha for the next 3 years.
Yeah.
I think the Caps have been like not in love with Vrana the last couple of years. Hasn't he gone through like long stretches of in the playoffs? Didn't he like not put up any points at all last year or something like that?
Let's see. Yeah, no points in the last 2 years of playoffs for Washington. And he was -7 last year too. All right, so we got at least one really actual big deal today. That's something.
Huh.
So is the new NHL insider Kevin Weeks?
Clearly.
Dude, it's still Bob McKenzie. He just showed up today and was like, "What's up?" Jeff Carter's getting traded.
Jacob Vrana and a first.
Ooh, they got a first too. That is a really good deal for Detroit. Oh, there's more pieces that they're giving away too.
Give me that. Give me that away.
All right, so nobody knows the full.
Wake up, Hockenpah! So who's getting more? Washington's getting more pieces.
Yeah, the Avs have told everybody they're done. So. Oh man, that's fucked up. The first game Kulikov will be available is the 26th.
So there's like 10 days left in the season when he's available. Like,
how much longer is their season? Because
yeah,
the North
that's
Division
true.
stuff.
North's
I
going to
don't
go
know
an
the
extra
answer.
2 weeks or something. Yeah. So what the hell? Wings got Vrana, Panic, and a first for Mantha plus some stuff.
Yeah, what could even
Yeah.
going back there?
Yep. The Avs have Nemeth, Dubnyk, and Soderbergh as their deadline acquisitions. Yeah, the deadline was 30 minutes ago. A couple of trades are still trickling in, but
Don't forget Johansson. Does he not count?
Nope.
it was too far away from the deadline. Anything outside of a week ago is
Yeah, I agree. I think a week is you can consider it a quote unquote deadline deal. 8 days and beyond, go fuck yourself.
Jeez. You hear that, Johansson?
Whoa, deal also includes first and second round picks.
just keeps getting bigger.
Yeah, it just keeps getting Steve Yzerman is just furiously masturbating to this epic victory right at the end of deadline day.
What the hell?
That's too much. Furiously. I think it was the word furiously that did it.
It's just the rage stroke.
Good Lord.
At this point, he's got to be to the vinegar strokes, right? Like,
It's gonna be the champagne of victory in like 9 seconds. This is so ridiculous, dude. There's just pieces just keep getting added to this.
yeah,
thing.
it's out of control.
This is like the Ryan McDonough trade at the deadline that happened like 45 minutes after the deadline passed.
Yeah,
And then all of a sudden people were like, the Ryan McDonough deal is huge.
yeah. There's 8.
And we were like, yeah, okay, sure, like whatever. Like Ryan McDonough getting dealt is a really big deal. And then it was just like
Yeah, it ended up being like
it was like 20 minutes of like
super
pieces
convoluted.
just getting added to the thing. And it was like, what the shit, dude? Well, we'll wait for this, but
that just seems like it's about it. Yeah.
what do you think? We'll wait for the details on this one, so we won't include this one yet. But best deal at the deadline.
Dude, this one looks like it's going to be it for Detroit.
I mean, like I said, we don't know what this one is yet.
Yeah,
so
yeah. You're right.
We'll take this one out for now, but
Let's see.
because I think between Hall and Palmieri and Zajac, like those are.
I mean, the Columbus got a fucking first for Nick Foligno.
Yeah, I guess from Columbus's perspective, getting first round picks for Foligno and Savard was
nuts. Yeah,
that's just straight magic.
Yeah, I think that Hall deal is pretty.
I mean, all of the concerns that you would have about Taylor Hall, like for that price, you're like, dude, this is easily
do it. Yeah,
and he gets to go be behind one of the best lines in hockey.
Yeah, and he doesn't. It was exactly what we talked about last night on last night's show, that he gets to be in a situation where
he's not the dude.
The expectations on him are, for the first time ever, like minimal.
Yeah.
The return doesn't demand that he be special. How things have gone for him lately doesn't demand that he be special. Just show up and we'll see whatever he is, and chances are it'll be fine.
I mean, the Patrick Nemeth deal is pretty savvy for the Avs, I think, at the end of the day. When you see Savard go for a first, Brandon Montour go for a third.
It's really a good
Kulikov for a third.
Yeah, Kulikov got a third, and the Avs get Nemeth for a fourth. It's not like knock your socks off, but it's just good value.
I mean, I think it's pretty clear the Avs just were like, we like what we have. We're just going to bring in some depth guys that we know will just fit in.
Yeah.
I just text my Caps friend. I said for Verana and a first, and he just said no.
Did Hall make the Bruins the favorite in the East? I would say no. That's still Tampa.
Let me look at the division alignment, because
I haven't super looked into the East. I know that Washington's kind of they're good, or their numbers are really good, but isn't their possession numbers not great compared to everyone else? So it almost feels like something could fall out there.
Even with Hall, Boston's 10 points out of first in the East.
Yeah, I don't think that makes them.
It makes them better, but I don't think it makes them a contender or anything.
Scoring has definitely been a problem for them, because if you look at their suppression, they're doing just fine there.
Yeah.
Like they always do, right? So Scoring has been the big problem, and getting Taylor Hall should theoretically help with that. How much, to be determined. Does that make them the favorite?
You can't. I don't see how you can pick them over Tampa, and honestly, it might be hard to pick them over the Isles.
Yeah, well, so Tampa
might not have to play them. Yeah.
well, sure, that's fair. Tampa, I'm thinking old Eastern Conference.
So it's right now the playoffs would be Washington versus Boston, the Islanders versus Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't pick Boston over the Islanders.
Good man. It's the right answer.
I honestly don't know Washington well enough. I haven't watched that much Washington to tell you this year how good that team actually is.
Yeah.
They have worse possession numbers than the Ottawa Senators.
NHL just announced the postponement of St. Louis at Minnesota.
Yeah. Okay. Can they just postpone the rest of the games today?
Oh my god!
I don't think Nemeth. I think they said Nemeth is getting into town today. I don't think he's going to play today, though.
Vrana Panik first and a second in exchange for just Mantha.
Oh, and a second? Holy cow.
For just Mantha. They didn't get anything else.
I'm sorry, but if he's not furiously masturbating to that clear victory,
On that trade alone, Washington shouldn't be allowed to make the playoffs.
he should just retire his dick at that point. Because what the fuck?
That's insane. That's what are you doing, baby?
What in the world?
That's nuts.
That's a lot, yeah.
That is Jesus.
So Detroit won the deadline.
Yeah. I mean Detroit and Columbus.
Yeah,
Like
that's
Columbus gets multiple firsts from guys
Some
who aren't that great, but Detroit gets a first and a second, plus a young piece to build around in Verona. What?
And Detroit also picked up 2 fourths.
Yeah, and they got rid of Madison Bowie for a pick.
And they got Hayden Verbeek and a 5th.
Oh,
They did well.
Hayden Verbeek is a real person. How many?
Yep.
It's what's his relation to Pat?
Yeah.
I don't know, but I can look. Hayden Verbeek is Pat's his uncle.
Wow, that is such a that's such an impressive return.
Yeah, crushed it. No doubt about it.
Like I really like Mantha,
Not that much.
but I would have had Mantha and Verana's value really similar.
Yeah, agreed.
It would not have had
Like that's
an ocean of difference there.
I didn't even question it when they said, "Oh, it was Mantha for Vrana and Panik." I was like, "Okay, that's the deal." I assumed that was it.
That would have made sense to me. Wow.
Why do so many people named Hayden exist? Well, Western Canada. You put Aiden after a name, and that's every child in Western Canada.
Yeah. What in the world, man?
Yeah, 2021 first, 2022 second.
That's such good value for Detroit. That's crazy, dude.
Yep. Steve Yzerman crushed it. The guy's just a good GM. Such a bummer. Honestly, the West didn't do shit today. I think if I'm St. Louis or Minnesota or Arizona, to be honest with you, I think that's a really smart play. What are you going to do? You're very likely facing either. All of those teams are facing the reality of you make the playoffs, you're either playing Colorado or Vegas in the first round.
Yep.
That's life. Okay, maybe you get by one of them. You catch one of them in a 7-game series or whatever, but you get by one of them. Are you going to get by 2? Hell to the no. So why would you go in? So it makes sense that those teams all sat on their hands. Vegas didn't have very much room to do anything. And them adding, I mean, look at all the hoops that they had to jump through to add Matthias Janmark.
Yeah, it was rough.
So they did that. How much better does that make them? Marginally. It's how much better does Nemeth and Soderbergh make Colorado? Marginally.
Marginal. Yeah, and there was not really an arms race in the West at all. Minnesota and St. Louis just accepted their fates this year.
Well, and then in the Central, Carolina didn't do anything.
Yeah, they moved
Tampa Bay
out
added
a
David
dude,
Savard,
which
and
is
Florida added Sam Bennett.
Florida did some other stuff too, didn't they?
I mean, they dumped the Connolly deal.
That's fair.
And they got Montour.
Yeah.
Gusev.
Yeah.
I guess
they
Gusev,
signed
yeah.
Gusev too, technically. Yeah. So Florida did some stuff.
Yeah, so Florida was pretty active.
Now, wait a second. Carolina did add someone. Hockenpah!
That's
Hey, whatever.
all right, fair enough. The North, Toronto went ham.
Yeah, Toronto
Edmonton
went crazy.
Edmonton, Winnipeg, and Montreal all added
Like
around the fringes.
defenseman, yeah.
And then you just have the West where Anaheim, LA, San Jose all sold.
Yep.
Arizona, St. Louis, and Minnesota literally did nothing. And then
Actual nothings. Yeah.
Vegas did one thing and the Fs did three. So
Crazy.
That's wild. The Mantha deal is.
Yeah, that thing is nuts. Absolutely nuts.
If they couldn't afford Vrana, like how much more? Like, I don't feel like he's really going to be that much more expensive than what Mantha's making, if at all.
But it's cost certainty.
Yeah,
They know exactly how much Mantha is making for the next couple of years. But this is, I mean, that's such a
That was
steep price to
excessive
pay.
as hell. Yeah.
yeah, I could see Mantha scoring a lot of goals there at the same time, playing with like a Kuznetsov or a Backstrom.
Yeah.
It's still a lot to give up.
Like, yeah, Vrana for Mantha and a first is like good value.
Mhm.
Like, you're already doing really well as Detroit if you're getting Mantha in a first for Vrana and Panic, and then you just got a second also, which turns it into insane value. How old is Panic?
Oh, Panic was making
Yeah, he's
$2.5 million for the next 2 years.
Yeah, that was part of the run that Washington went on where they signed a bunch of guys to 3 and 4 year deals to play in their bottom six.
Yep.
Boy. Well, everything's done.
Yep.
David Savard on playing with Hedman. There you go.
This might be the worst deadline in recent memory.
It was bad. They took all day, and then the last trade was the only like banger. Yeah, I don't know. Are we done? I think we're probably about done here.
Yeah.
Been live for 3.5 hours, talking about actually
Nothing. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Apparently ghosts. I don't.
talked about ghosts.
Didn't really get that into the ghost.
That's true. It was more other stories.
Yeah.
AJ's ghost stories will have to come another time.
It's okay.
Appreciate all y'all hanging out today in chat.
It's always fun when we do something like this.
Yeah.
I'm also glad we don't do it that often.
It's long.
Yeah, that's the thing.
It's long.
That is what she said. I'm going to say have a wonderful rest of your trade deadline day. You can catch us again tonight, post game after this Avalanche hockey game. Should be fun. Looking forward to it. Be sure to tune in post game. If you're not a DNVR member, we're going to be giving away some subscriptions. So, yeah, hope to see y'all there. Have a great rest of y'all's day.